Uh, 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 uh. Mm. Nobody, nobody, baby. And the band keeps playing on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Nobody, baby. Baby, oh, if you need somebody, oh, nobody, baby. What's happening? Shout out to my man Carter. Carter in the building. Early, early. Oh man. I'm telling you, man. Every day, man.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Earlier today, we responded to a shooting call at Wilmer Hutchins High School. This is a tragic situation, and I know everyone wants answers, and we are going to give you what we know at this point. It remains a fluid investigation, and all of our law enforcement partners are helping us to work on this investigation. We had 4 students injured today and were transported to area hospitals. The suspect has not been arrested, but we have identified the suspect. And as I mentioned, we have many of our law enforcement partners helping us, and we are working on locating and arresting the suspect at this time. I'd like to now introduce Dallas ISD Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde.
Thank you, Chief. Today, as we all know, the unthinkable has happened, and quite frankly, this is just becoming way too familiar, and it should not be familiar. I do want everyone to know that I just got off the phone with Governor.
That's an old bag right there, man. God damn. She's an old bag. Let me tell you this, man. Let me say this, man. Sons, man, come on, man. We couldn't go. The boy just got out yesterday, man. Carmelo Anthony just got out yesterday, man. You got black people running around. All I hear is white people need to teach their kids how to keep them hands to themselves. White parents need to teach their kids how to stop bullying people. As if that's the problem in the black community. 4.0 students, white students bullying black kids. But fine. Fine. The next day after that boy gets out, a nigga shoots up a school. A young nigga in Texas.
Governor Abbott, who just called to get an update, a status report, and to offer any resources that we need to assist us. So I know that there are many questions, and we're not going to have all the answers right now because some of the information will be inaccurate. So we will do our very best because we know it is important to be always transparent. I do need to take a moment to ensure that first and foremost, we know that we have been able to reunify all of our high school students with their parents and guardians. The team of Dallas ISD Police Department and our Office of Emergency Management, along with all of the agencies that assisted us in ensuring that we ensured everyone was safe. And it is important to note that within 2 minutes, of course, we already had an officer here at the high school that was able to respond immediately to the incident, followed by Wilmer Police, who were next on the scene. But I'm sure that you can tell that there were multiple agencies, from the Sheriff's Department, the City Police, whether it was City Police from Dallas, City Police from Wilmer, City Police from Hutchins. Of course, DPS troopers have been here. We have the Fire and Rescue, FBI, ATF. There were a number of federal agents that were also here to provide that level of support. What I can tell you is our team worked very deliberately to ensure, first and foremost, that everyone was safe on campus as soon as the incident was reported, and provided, of course, treatment to each of.
Look at her. She like, damn, why I had to be a YN? Why I had to be another nigga? Why is it always a nigga? How come every time we doing this shit, it's always a nigga? And here's the thing. Here's the tricky situation they got us in. If the victims are black, I know conservatives don't have enough balls for this. Conservatives are pussies. They don't have enough balls for this. But it would be funny as hell is if the victims are black, if conservatives took the stance of, well, they shouldn't have did what they did, and maybe he wouldn't have shot them. Self-defense. Self-defense for this young nigga. Self-defense for this young nigga. Maybe it was self-defense. That's what conservatives should do. Conservatives are pussies, but if they weren't pussies, they would take that tack. Maybe this was another case of self-defense. I mean, you never know. Maybe this was another case of self-defense. Maybe the little nigger children that got hit this time, maybe they offended the guy, and he has the right to defend himself. He was bullied, and all he was doing was defending himself. That's what conservatives should do. Now, they're all a bunch of punanis, you know, I mean, literally, like, I'm not here to, like, you know, not all, okay? Not all, just for the people in the back. But the majority of conservatives are punani. I want to see. I'm not judging this kid. I'm not judging this kid. Maybe he was being bullied. Maybe he was defending himself.
The individuals, we will have difficulty giving you any specifics, of course, because as you all know, there are laws that, you know, keep us from being able to disclose information for minors. I also want to reiterate that we will not be having school at Wilmer Hutchins High School for the rest of the week. We will have mental health clinicians and others available to assist anyone who would like to meet with counselors to discuss the incident. You don't ever just get used to this, and I am very aware of that. it certainly weighs very heavy on my heart, but I can't begin to imagine. As a parent myself, I'm trying to put myself in those shoes. So again, I do want to, the reason Wilmer Hutchins Elementary was also put on lockdown was because, of course, of its close proximity, but there was not any danger to anyone at the elementary school. We will be having elementary school tomorrow and Thursday. There is no need for anyone to be concerned about safety of their children. And we will still have additional officers because, again, I want to do everything we can to provide reassurances to our parents. You know, the last thing anyone thinks when they're bringing their children to school, whether it's a high school or whether your spouse or significant other is going to work, is to think that these things are happening. But they do happen, and they shouldn't be happening. Right now, our primary concern is to continue to provide support.
We begin tonight with breaking news. WFAA has confirmed the person suspected of shooting students inside that high school just turned himself in.
4 students are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries tonight at 2 hospitals in Dallas.
And officials have canceled classes at Wilmer Hutchins High School the rest of this week. It's in southeast Dallas, right near I-20 and Langdon Road. And this is the second time in a year there's been a shooting at that school.
Earlier tonight, police searched several locations for the suspect, and they've been investigating how the weapon got inside the school. All students in the building were reunited with parents and guardians by 5 p.m. We've had reporters covering this story from the moment we heard the active shooter call.
Let's start with Cindy Persing with the major developments in the past hour.
Well, Chris, Izzy, as you mentioned, in the last hour, we know that suspect turned himself in here at the Lucerne Jail on Commerce Street behind me. We do know from the DISD police chief that that suspect is a student at the high school. We are still working to confirm his identity right now. We do know, though, from our sources that he is charged with aggravated assault. That suspect turning himself in, that news comes after a nearly 8-hour
aggravated assault.
Long search for him. And while that search has come to an end, there are still so many questions about how and why this happened, and so many families still dealing with the trauma from today.
Tuesday in Dallas, it happened again.
Everything happened so fast.
Students heard it again.
We heard a few gunshots, saw a few students run in, heard a few screams.
Police ran toward it again.
So many polices, and it was ambulances over here.
And parents felt it again.
Polices. Somebody tell them sisters is not polices, man. Make sure you support the channel, man, via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat, man.
I was about to pass out because my son was screaming and hollering like he was in a range of fire.
3 students we now know were shot inside Wilmer Hutchins High School. 1 more grazed by a bullet.
So I don't have any information regarding what led up to the shooting.
Police also would not reveal how the gun got inside, but did say it did not come through regular intake when students passed through metal detectors.
It was not a failure of our staff, of our protocols, or of the machinery that we have.
In an earlier interview, the deputy mayor told WFAA someone let the suspect in through a side door.
Quite frankly, this is just becoming way too familiar, and it should not be familiar.
Bonnets and shit. Somebody let the suspect in through a side door. So somebody let the gunman in through a side door, because I'm sure they got security guards. So I'm sure they got metal detectors at the school, because it's probably black kids there. You got black kids there, you got to have a metal detector. And listen, nothing about that should be controversial. Nothing about that statement should be controversial. Okay? If you have black kids at your school, you need metal detectors. Let's keep it a buck, man. Let's keep it 1,000, man. Let's keep it 1,000. Everybody hit the like button. Yeah, they let him in. I'm sure niggas ain't gonna want no detailed week-long. This niggas don't want this to be in the news for weeks. Press 1. Niggas gonna want this one to be out the news cycle by the morning. Press 1. They don't want people snooping around trying to find out facts. Every mammy with a fucking TikTok ain't gonna be making videos about this. Press 1. All the pro-black channels that been covering Carmelo Anthony for the last 3 weeks, you ain't gonna see one video from them about this. Not one video.
The superintendent acknowledged what so many already know. This is familiar, not just in our country or in our city, but at this school. There was another shooting at Wilmer Hutchins a year ago this week.
It's really scary because this isn't the first time it happened.
And the people who lived this on Tuesday again have no reason.
Look at these people. Look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. I want y'all to see. Look at these pictures. Yo, this school is awful, man. Let's go to Great Schools app, man. Everybody support the channel, man. It's the only place you're gonna get this, man. Everybody that been talking about Carmelo Anthony for the last 3 weeks, they're not gonna talk about this. So you have to come here, spread the word, share the video. Hit the like button. Help us get in the algorithm because some people may want to talk about the new nigga school violence story. The new young nigga at school violence story. And it's only going to be one channel talking about the new young nigga at school violence story. And that's right here. Damn, this high school only got 1,000 kids. Oh, wow. This school has a 2 out of 10. Usually they would get a 1 out of 10, but 2 out of 10 is fine. They must not. 2 out of 10 lets me know they got a lot of Hispanic kids there, or Asian or some kind of not black kid there. Because the black schools are almost always 1 out of 10. That's the rating. So this school being a 2 out of 10 lets you know there's let me go down to the demographics because something ain't right. It looked like a lot of black kids, black parents. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay. So yeah, it's not like if it was like 80% black, that joint would be 0 out of 10. And don't get mad at me, get mad at the Great Schools app. So they got the same amount of Hispanics. Shout out to the white parents for not sending their kids to this school. Everybody get the white parents a round of applause in the chat. Get the white parents a clap emoji. White parents said she, and I ain't sending my kids over there. All them niggas. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll get back to that, man.
Attendant acknowledged what so many already know. This is familiar, not just in our country or in our city, but at this school. There was another shooting at Wilmer Hutchins a year ago this week.
It's really scary because this isn't the first time it happened.
And the people who lived this on Tuesday again have no reason to trust it will be the last.
It's very bad that we have to keep going through this. It's sad.
And again, that search lasted nearly 8 hours. It spanned several cities from Dallas to Waxahachie. Our Matt Howerton was following developments all throughout the day, and he joins us now live. Matt.
Yeah, Sydney, we've been following police from Dallas to Waxahachie across the Metroplex, actually, as they started the hunt for this young man. WFAA sources say that the suspect had planned to turn himself in earlier in the evening at a substation in Dallas, but never showed up. Then police came to a home behind me in Waxahachie in a neighborhood along 287, thinking that the suspect might be here at a family member's home, but no luck. And then obviously just before we came on the air, we learned that the suspect had turned himself in at the Dallas County Jail. Police still here, though, at this home that they arrived at earlier in the night. Dallas ISD police also on scene. They just showed up here shortly ago. When we got here, neighbors approaching us, sharing that it's been a wild afternoon, showing us photos they took of SWAT team members surrounding that house they're at now when they did, in fact, think that the suspect might be here. Heavy police gear on those officers, but no luck finding the suspect, as we mentioned. Yet officers, they never left. And we're told by sources that they've been working a search warrant at this home connected to the suspect, as we mentioned, a family member's home of the suspect. And all this very fresh and very sudden for those living in this neighborhood.
It's always been quiet here. That's why I moved here. I was in Irving. I moved out here because it was a lot quieter and a lot safer out here. But now I don't know what to think now since this is going on.
Not here, not in this neighborhood. So it was very alarming, very scary. Not, especially with our school being right in our backyard, very frightening.
And as we mentioned, DISD police just arriving to this home before we came on the air. It's likely that they are in the early stages of building their case against the suspect now that he has been captured. In Waxahachie, I'm Matt Howerton.
And again, some of these same families rushed to Wilmer Hutchins on April 12th of last year. In that case, another 17-year-old student bypassed the school security measures and got a gun in the building. He shot a classmate in the leg and tried to escape, but police quickly caught him near the school. Authorities told us the metal detector did go off when the student passed through, but staff members failed to properly search his bag.
Governor Abbott is in contact with local officials right now and released a statement on the shooting. He says, quote, "Our hearts go out to the victims of this senseless act of violence at Wilmer Hutchins High School." Now, I spoke with Dallas ISD Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde and Dallas ISD Chief Albert Martinez. I offered to support the school district families, students, and staff, and to provide law enforcement with the tools they need to arrest the criminals involved and bring them to justice.
Down in Austin, state lawmakers paused for a moment of silence shortly after the shooting. Aisha Davis represents the district that includes Wilmer Hutchins and spoke on the House floor.
Humbly ask for prayers for those students, the family.
Listen, man. Aside from the schools, another thing you got to look for when you're thinking about moving somewhere, who's the local elected politicians? The people in this fucking place voted this woman to lead them. White parents, I'm telling y'all, when y'all thinking about moving somewhere, it's not just the schools. You gotta look, hold on. These people elected, this is who they elected to lead them. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. Take us to your leader.
Pause for a moment of silence shortly after the shooting. Aisha Davis represents the district that includes Wilmer Hutchins and spoke on the House floor.
Humbly ask for prayers for those students, the families, the staff at the schools, the first responders, and everybody else who's going to be affected by this.
After Representative Davis's words, legislators and guests in the gallery stood for a moment of silence. You can count on us to
Shout out to my man, Andy Armour. He says, salute. What about instead of metal detectors, they try sun detectors? You mean segregation, man? That sounds like segregation, man. Racist. White people wanting to be away from the people that they're lynching. White people wanting to be away from the people they're bullying and lynching and causing harm is racist. Forcing white people to be around the people that they keep bullying and lynching and causing harm to is progressiveness.
Let's get to our Aaron Jones. I know, Aaron, you've been spending time with students and to parents tonight. We know it's been a really, really tough day for them. What are they telling you?
It has been a tough day, Nicole. And tonight we spoke to some students who say that they witnessed all of this. And understandably, they're scared to go back to school. They say this is the second time that they've experienced something like this. And they believe there needs to be changes moving forward.
I heard five shots go off. It was right next to my classroom. They told me, get down and turn the lights off. My teacher locked the door, closed it, did all the procedures that they were supposed to do. Just sat there.
Delia Martin, a junior at Wilmer High School, later learning at least 4 people were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries.
It was very traumatic, honestly. And it was the second time it happened.
Almost exactly a year ago, there was another shooting at this school. A gun got past the metal detectors and a student was shot in the leg. Martin's mom is fed up.
Honestly,
you fed up? Shut up. You talking about you fed up? You ain't fed up with a motherfucking thing. Your ass been, I bet you if you go to her social media, her Facebook, her Twitter, I bet you she been defending Carmelo Anthony all week. Press 1. I guarantee you, she been defending Carmelo Anthony for killing that white boy at that school all week. I guarantee you, if you could get her social media, if we could get this woman's name, if I go to her social media, I 1000% guarantee you she been defending Carmelo Anthony for killing that white boy at that track meet all fucking week. Press 1. I fucking guarantee you. Yeah, man. Deacons, lock the doors, man. Deacons, lock the doors, man. Draw the shades. We need some seeds planted up in here, man. We giving it the sermon, man. Ain't nobody talking about this no more. All the niggas suddenly don't care about violence in schools. All the pro-black channels. Who you think, what's that little prick, the little prick with the beanie? Forgot his name, man. And I don't mean to call him a prick. He's probably a nice guy, man. What's the little white guy? Tim Pool, yeah, Tim Pool. You think Tim Pool gonna do a story on this? Who think Tim Pool gonna do a video on this? Who think Tim Pool gonna do a video on this? I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Who think Tim Pool gonna do a video on this? Talking about she fed up.
And a student was shot in the leg. Martin's mom is fed up.
Honestly, I'm afraid for my daughter to even go back to that school at all because I don't feel like she's safe there.
As a father who lost his son to senseless gun violence, I understand what our parents are going through, the nervousness, the anxiety.
Dallas ISD trustee Maxie Johnson says he's working to address gun violence in schools. After last year's shooting, he hosted a town hall and looked at the safety and security procedures in place.
And we just made sure that the metal detectors was continue to work properly, make sure that staff was in place where it needed to be. And so, again, policy was followed.
He says in this latest incident, once the investigation is complete, they'll have more information for the community.
And we're going to continue to stand together and advocate for more resources and advocate to make sure
more money, advocate for more money. Listen to what this nigga talking about, man. This nigga talking about we going to advocate for more resources. We just gave Carmelo Anthony $400,000 for killing that white boy. Go ask him for some money. Go ask the Anthony family for some money, nigga. We ain't paying you niggas to not shoot each other at school. This nigga trying to extort us. Pay us and we'll stop shooting each other at school. And then here's the thing. They not going to stop shooting each other at school. That's the worst part. They not going to stop shooting each other at school. That's the worst fucking part. This nigga trying to get a check. He coming around trying to get a check.
And we're going to continue to stand together and advocate for more resources and advocate to make sure that our kids are safe.
And in the meantime, Trustee Johnson told us that he hopes the students and staff utilize the mental health professionals that will be at the school next week when they return. Reporting live, Aaron Jones, CBS News, Texas.
I want you to watch Paige Beckers.
We begin tonight with breaking news. WFAA has confirmed the person's
terrifying scene at a Dallas high school, gunfire inside the school. Law enforcement then rushing to Wilmer Hutchins High School. Students you can see there running to safety. Authorities say one student shot and wounded in what they revealed just moments ago at the same school where they had a shooting nearly a year ago to the day. Maria Villarreal on the scene in Texas.
Tonight, terrified students running out of this Texas high school after multiple shots fired.
Well, you got an active shooter, Wilmer Hutchins High School. We do have reports of one student being one shot.
First responders swarming the scene at Wilmer Hutchins High School in Dallas around lunchtime.
A shooter at the school has reportedly run out of the back of the building.
Authorities say 4 students were injured, 3 of them shot. Police still searching for the shooter. The senior forced to take cover.
We heard a few gunshots and we were still standing there confused. And then we heard more, saw a few students run in, heard a few screams, and we had to go and take cover back in the band room.
Students seen walking out with their hands up. Parents desperate for answers.
I'm glad this is my last child in school and I won't have to go through this anymore.
You might wake.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And white people supposed to feel bad about not wanting to live around this. If white people don't want to live around this, they gotta be bad people. But listen to what she said. Listen to what she said.
My last child in school and I won't have to go through this anymore.
You might wake up one day and your kids be beside you, and the next day they're gone.
David.
That ain't normal. That's not everybody's existence, man. That's not everybody's existence, man. That's not everybody's existence. That's not normal. That's not normal. You can act like that's normal. That ain't normal.
David, today's incident comes nearly 1 year to the day of a similar shooting that happened at the same school that you see right behind me. The superintendent telling me that they have spoken to the governor, they have updated him, and he has offered the resources they need to help in this investigation. David?
Maria Villarreal in Texas. Maria, thank you.
Happened over in Dallas, Texas. Again, a live now look over at Wilmer Hutchins High School, where we are seeing that perhaps
Suspect in a school shooting that left 4 people injured in Dallas has reportedly turned himself in. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. A law enforcement source says the suspect turned himself in late tonight after the shooting that happened early this afternoon at Wilmer Hutchins High School in southeast Dallas. Of the 4 injured, officials say 3 of the victims were shot. The injuries range from non-life-threatening to serious.
Late this afternoon, Dallas ISD officials revealed the suspect was not yet in custody, but stopped short of saying whether the suspect was a student. How they got the...
All right, let's get to the suspect, man. Let's get to our suspect, man. Let's get to our suspect. Everybody hit the like button, man. Share this video, man. We the only ones talking about this, man. Everybody else conveniently don't care about violence in school. This kid could have been defending himself, man. This could be a case of self-defense, man. They could have been bullying this kid. Maybe it was a white kid, another white kid with a 4.0 bullying this kid. Maybe another white kid from another school with a 4.0, active in his church, was like, yo, let me go fuck one of these punk ass black kids at another school, man. You don't know what happened here. And niggas don't care. Niggas don't care because it ain't no racial element in it. Niggas don't care. Niggas don't give a fuck. I'm talking about niggas don't give a flying fuck. If we find out tomorrow, though, if we would have found out that it was a white boy and he had shot a black kid, man, this would be the biggest fucking story in the fucking country. Niggas don't give a fuck. This nigga right here, shout out to Jack Me Off, man. I love Jack Me Off, man. Jack Me Off always makes me feel good when I see him, man. Jack Me Off says, I got canceled on YouTube for 24 hours yesterday for writing Negro. It's hard to not troll for 24 hours. Trolling therapeutic. You gotta use the sun, the Ak Nation sun language, man. You gotta use the sun language, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Jack Me Off, man. What's this guy's name? What's this character's name, man? He said, let me guess, it was self-defense. Nah, it ain't self-defense unless it was a white student. The only way you get self-defense is if you shoot a white kid, man. You niggas don't be going and getting no ideas. Niggas, niggas, we quick to get an idea. We like, oh shit. The white liberals will pay you if you shoot somebody or if you kill somebody at school. Nah. You gotta make sure you kill a white kid. Press 1. These little niggas gonna be running around killing black kids like, all right, where my money at? No. You gotta kill you a white kid to get some money. You want some money, go kill you a white kid. You got the game fucked up. Salute to Austin Dovercourt III, man. He said, salute. Did you see cover the Sun man that took the hatchet to a glider in Tucson 3 days after Mello? Nah, man. Send that to me. Email akatunde2@gmail.com. Send that to me, man. Yeah, but let's see what we can find about this suspect, man. He looked like a nice kid, man. Look like he's getting bullied, man. Let's see. He turned himself. No name. Shit, we can't get a name on this motherfucker. Oh, student privacy, so they can't. Oh, here it is. Jacarian Rhodes Ewan, man. Dallas, man. Hey, yo, listen, this is a true Dallas story. You think he's part of the Ewan family, man, from Dallas? This is the other side of the family, man. This is the other side of the Ewan family, man. This shooting wasn't a dream, though. This was a real shooting. This was not a dream. Jacarian Rhodes Ewan, 17, is facing 2 charges after police said he brought a Pink Lady handgun, 38 revolver handgun to school last Friday. This is the one from last year. This is not him. This is the one from last year. This is the one from last year. Okay. This is the one from last year. This is the shooter from last year. So, hey, we never know, man. The shooter from this year could be a white boy, man, from another school bullying a black kid, man. Salute to Don Wrinkles. He says, fun, ignored fact. It was illegal for Carmelo to possess a high school campus. Oh, they're not going to ignore that in court. In court, they're not going to ignore that. That's not going to go ignored in court. Just on social media and shit. Okay, so this is the shooter from last year. This is the shooter from last year. This is the shooter from last year. Okay. That's the shooter from last year because this happened. This happened almost last year, 1 year ago at the same school. Let's see, man. He turned himself in. There's no way. There's no way it's the same shooter as today. No way. That's everybody hit the like button, man. Support the channel, man. Let me Tommy Sotomayor says, I was told blacks don't do this, so it must have been self-defense. I also don't believe this is true. This is a psyop, if I've ever seen one. Same kid is arrested last year for the same crime on the same day with the same mugshot. No, this is not the same kid. This is just the mugshot from last year. This ain't no psyop. This is a last year only one person was shot in the leg. This year, 4 people were shot. Last year, only one person was shot in the leg. This year, 4 people were shot. Not the same kid. We haven't got the identity. People are so quick. People are so quick. Let me drop the link, man. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody support the channel, man. I'll drop the link, man. Make sure y'all support, man. And sons think they are being hunted more like gliders are being hunted by sons, without a doubt. Without a doubt, man. Somebody asked me what was that site that covers white on black murders. It was called VDare. VDare, they shut it down. They shut down VDare. VDare, they had to shut it down, man, because they were chronicling the black on white murders every month. They shut that shit down. VDare. Everybody hit the like button, man. This is the YN from last year. This is the YN in the thumbnail is the YN who shot up the school last year. This year we don't have a picture for the YN. It's too early. But I'm 1,000% sure that it's a goddamn sun turd. Shout out to Michael Brown, man. He said it's always sunny in Ock Nation. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Let's see. Let's see, man. We can find the YN that did this, man. YN that did this, man. Shout out to S Freak. What's happening, man?
Hey, how are you?
Everything's cool, man. Everything's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to find out this kid, man. This Facebook. Oh, let's see what this man be talking about.
Yeah, let's hear him.
And I'm thinking about taking them out and putting them in homeschool because it's something I can't keep.
Ma'am, that's easier said than done. Homeschooling is not as people act like that's just like you. If you're homeschooled, that means you got to be home, and they still give you a curriculum, and your kids got to pass a test every year to prove that they have been learning.
That's the thing, like, like they're single mothers, so how are they going to work and school the children at the same time? And I don't think these mothers are that educated themselves.
Exactly. You got to be, and you have to have patience. Like the reason they send their kids to school is for the babysitting. The school babysits the kid for them during the day while they work. Your kid I don't know about this particular woman, but let's just say the typical black woman, single mother, her kid is a fucking asshole. Okay, he's a teenager. Most teenagers are assholes, but a black single mother's teenager is a fucking asshat. Press 1.
1.
So you gotta. It's easy to say that you gonna teach your fucking kid algebra and shit, and then fucking goddamn Catcher in the Rye, and then you gonna fucking teach him fucking goddamn social studies and then biology. Motherfucker, no the fuck you not. You couldn't teach your fucking kid how to play fucking checkers if he didn't know how to. If your kid didn't know how to play checkers, it'd take you a year to teach him how to play checkers.
Yeah, pretty much, you know. But like, yeah, as for the baby, what? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, as for the babysitting aspect, that's what feminism did. You know, it took the woman out of the house, whereas like she would raise a child while the man was away, and then they put them in public schools where they would indoctrinate them.
Yeah, definitely. Miss Berry, what's happening?
What's up, Aunt? Peace to the nation.
Salute.
It's been forever, right?
Yeah, it has been, man. You a sister, Miss Berry. You a sister, a real
I'm a sister. My schedule changed. I had to I be having to go to bed.
Oh, you got a better job or a worse job?
Oh my goodness. It's a long story and I don't want to talk to the world.
Okay.
But I'm
All
alive
right.
and I'm grateful.
You still got your place, right?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I bought my house in 2014.
Okay, so there you go. So what do you think about this sister talking about something? I'm about to homeschool my kids.
You saw what happened to these kids during COVID, right? Yeah, I homeschool them all right. And you see how frustrated parents get when it's time to teach math. Forget it. Yeah, that's not happening. It ain't happening. She's just talking.
They were doing virtual learning. That's what they're doing.
Virtual learning.
But like, yeah, they were.
Yeah, they virtually learned nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, man.
No different than regular school.
So Miss Berry, what have you been hearing from your circle? You know what I'm saying about this Carmelo Anthony thing. Where do the people's opinions lie that are in your circle?
Well, my circle, we don't talk about Carmelo Anthony. However, when I saw Carmelo Anthony, the first thing I could think about is if that was my son, I would have went upside his head. The news would have been asking what I was locked up for real. But in my mind, I just thought of it as a mother. You know what I'm saying? Just 17 years old, you just killed somebody. Like, that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But anyway, I'm just waiting for the real facts in the case. I was hearing on the internet, they were calling him a hero. They were calling him a hero. And I said, how is he a hero? And then I heard somebody say, oh, you know, back in the days, they was fighting the white boys. Like, oh, for real word? What you used to do? Oh, we used to run. I said, oh, that's how he the hero.
Who used to run from
you know,
white
normally,
Who used to run from white boys?
Well, somebody was talking about it. I heard somebody say that. And it was like, he said, what? Somebody asked him, like, and what would y'all do? He said, oh, we would run. And so now I'm thinking, oh, shit. So that's how he became a hero. You see what I'm saying? Like, he ain't run. But ain't that some bullshit? That's crazy.
Wow. Niggas is telling all type of lies and shit.
Yeah, they
Niggas
making
ain't-
all kinds of shit up. Oh, it was a torrential downpour. He had to get under something. And I'm thinking, this whole thing, you know, it's, to me, I could see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that type of kid. And it's fucked up. Excuse my French. It really is. It's sad for everybody because now this young man's mother, the deceased, she got to worry about the twin brother turning to drugs or bugging out, you know. She got to visit her son in the cemetery. He's dead. She's never going to get over that. Then you got Carmelo, dumbass. He going to be in jail. And his mother probably was getting ready for his ass to graduate and go on with their life, you know? It's sad. On both ends, to me, from my perspective. I don't know about, you know, there's all kinds of different things being spoken of that I try to look past it because really I want to hear facts, real facts.
I don't feel bad for Carmelo. He got what he deserved. I feel bad for his mother and father, you know, but
I'm just looking at it from a mother's perspective, you know, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine? I cannot imagine my son killing somebody at a track meet. Like, what is, you know, like, huh? That's crazy to me.
So you would feel better if your kid had gone to a club and you had found out he killed somebody because you could understand like something like that happening there, right? You could say, okay, at a club.
Hell no. My children
don't. What I'm saying is like, it's like things could pop off at a club, but at a track meet, no one has
like the situation. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Like, what? Like, you pulled out a knife? Like, what was that? Why? What? I need to know what the hell happened.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see. We shall see, man. Let's see.
Going through this as a parent, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah,
frightening.
was it premeditated?
To
Did
think
he
about
really
losing your
come there
child,
thinking, man,
your kids.
I would love to stab
Very-
people?
I mean, this is terrible. But they over there now. Thank God they standing. But my heart goes out to the parents that had to deal with this tragedy today. And I'm thinking about taking them out and putting them in homeschool.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Did somebody die?
No, but they had a shooting this year at the school and then one last year at the same school.
Oh.
Let's see this one. This is Breeda gonna tell the truth. She gonna tell the truth. Come on,
I
Breeda.
was in biology class, and my teacher, she was going over our work, and we heard a gunshot. And at first, I was trying to process it because, like, usually, like, they have like little like things like smack, like they're around the halls and like they play around. So like I was processing it until it went off again, and it was faster this time. So that's when me and my classmates got up and we went behind the teacher's desk, and I was making sure my classmates were okay. And then we went into the storage room, and we had waited there until we got escorted out.
What's going through your mind right now?
I'm still trying to process like with everything.
Okay, so I want to see this little Negro that did this shit, man. I want an ID on him now, man.
I dropped a link to you in the back chat. This is Cybertoxin. As of 30 minutes ago, the most recent report I can find states that they have a suspect in custody, but they're not releasing the name yet.
Yeah, definitely.
So
You know what that means?
Yeah, if it was a glider, they would have already, no doubt.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I just want to see the. Usually, you can get social media, like somebody from the school who knows the kid. It's like everybody involved in that school knows who the fuck did that by now. You know what I'm saying? By now. So, another mammy. This mammy, what you talking about, mammy? Oh, your mic ain't on, mammy. Oh, let's see. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep an eye out for it, and I'll be up for like another hour. If anything comes up,
Yeah,
I'll
thank
be
you, man.
sure to.
Appreciate you.
I'll come back.
Just come back up. Yeah, come back up if you find out anything. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
This is let's see, Wilma Hutchins. Damn, these YNs, boy, they just be fucking shoot. I bet you, if we looked hard enough, we could find another shooting somewhere in the country this year. I mean, today, somewhere in the country, a school shooting somewhere else in the country today, or a shooting around the school somewhere in the country today. Give me a city, man. Give me a city, man. Let's get the ball rolling. Give me a city, man.
Chicago.
Yeah, God,
that's an easy one.
My man said Chicago. I mean, shit. Why not, man? Because one thing they try to do, they try to act like the face of school shooting is white kids. It's not even close, man. This face of writing a manifesto the day before, going to school, shooting, and then killing yourself with some shit like that is white kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or shooting a bunch of innocent kids. Yeah, that's white kids. That happens about once or twice a year. These black kids, they do this shit 500 times a year where they shoot somebody in the school, or I was just outside of the school, or after school, or they walking home and shit. Let's see what we can find out today. Everyone hit the like button, continue to support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, the Super Chat. We're trying to get into the algorithm, man. Hit the like button.
Now to new information about a deadly shooting near a CTA Blue station. A CTA employee now facing felony charges.
We're also learning more about what happened moments before that shooting.
Our Tara Molina is live outside the Cook County Courthouse where the CTA worker appeared in court. Tara, still no word from the CTA on this.
Erica and Joe, nothing from the CTA. And remember, all of this happened on Saturday evening. We confirmed via public records before this court hearing, the man charged with a felony in this case is a CTA employee. He works for the city's transit agency. The family of the man killed, calling for more transparency today. 61-year-old John Flemister shot in the head and killed Saturday evening outside the CTA Blue Line UIC Halstead station in what police called a shootout. He was on his way home from work.
He fought in the Vietnam War. He didn't been fighting for our country. He finally got to the point where he's living in the West Loop. He's living comfortably.
That's Flemister's niece, Sabrina Holton. She says her uncle was a veteran, a family man.
Now that's a mean fucking goddamn Trump dude right there. She looked like a fucking broom or some shit. She's Halloween. She going as a broom.
That look crazy.
Jesus, bitch. What the fuck?
Culturally appropriating white women's hair. No, physically appropriating it.
Yes, the bleach blonde.
Yeah, right. It's good.
Got to the point where he's living in the West Loop.
Brand new paintbrush.
That's Flemister's niece, Sabrina Holton. She says her uncle was a veteran, a family man, and worked as a doorman at this West Loop condo building where she says residents adored him. They hosted a vigil in his honor this week.
They set that vigil up. We didn't set that vigil up. They the ones that went the extra mile.
24-year-old Luther Hopkins III is charged in the deadly shooting, appearing in court today, facing felony unlawful possession of a weapon charges. But after days of reaching the CTA...
Damn, Luther, he got into a shootout with a young boy. A YN was working at the goddamn for the train station. Had his blicky on him while he unauthorized blicky on him while he was working. That's the pressure that niggas put on you, Chicago. Like he probably
right
gets stuff all the time with like niggas on the train, you know.
That's sad. And he's an employee, huh?
Yeah, and
Wow.
niggas will tell you quick, right? I know where you gonna be at, bitch ass nigga. You gotta come to work. You know what I'm saying? And you don't never know where this nigga gonna be
Ran
at.
down on.
That's crazy.
Of a weapon charges. But after days of reaching the CTA without a response, we've confirmed Hopkins worked for the transit agency, according to public payroll records. He was a CTA customer service assistant. In court, prosecutors detailed an argument that continued between Hopkins and Flemister at the Blue Line station, where Hopkins was working behind the desk. The argument continued outside the station and on the pedestrian
Okay,
bridge.
so he was behind the desk. This one right here, he was behind the desk. Nigga, you should have never came outside that desk because you in trouble now. You should have stayed your ass behind that desk.
That's right.
You came
Customer
out.
is always right. Period. Customer service, that's his title.
Exactly. You came out from behind the desk. Oh yeah, and they got you in the wrong right there, just off the break. And then you had a gun, that illegal gun, that you wasn't licensed to have. Yeah, you wrong. You wrong just on those two. It ain't gonna matter if he called you all type of bitch. The Carmelo Anthony shit ain't gonna work. He told me such and such, and he hurt my feelings. It ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter.
But wait, is he 25 yet? Did his brain develop? Because that's another one. The brain.
You know what's funny about that? I hadn't heard a nigga say that before, like 2-3 years ago. Never once. When did they start saying that your brain don't develop till 26? Was it a study or something? Because I never heard that before.
Yeah, yes. In psychology, the brain is not fully developed. I think it's the frontal lobe, to be exact. It's not fully developed until you're 25. How old is
Don't
this
have
guy?
a frontal lobe. Don't you know that, Miss Barry?
No, we born with a frontal lobe. It grows. It might grow slow though. It might be slow. What age we get a frontal lobe?
I don't know. A lot of them don't have a frontal lobe.
I was right, wasn't I, Yak?
Nah. You gotta be like 40.
40 years. 40.
I don't know if it's possible. Some of them don't have one. Some of them have a small one, but it's like a little teeny one.
Today, facing felony unlawful possession of a weapon charges. But after days of reaching the CTA without a response, we've confirmed Hopkins worked for the transit agency, according to public payroll records. He was a CTA customer service assistant. In court, prosecutors detailed an argument that continued between Hopkins and Flemister at the Blue Line station, where Hopkins was working behind the desk. The argument continued outside the station and on the pedestrian bridge, threatening each other verbally and with weapons, ultimately both firing shots. The judge said Hopkins acted in self-defense. Holton tells us Flemister's family doesn't understand why CTA spokespeople haven't said a word.
I didn't know that CTA station agents or whatever they call were armed.
Also telling me they don't believe the police description of the deadly shooting. Telling me the police report says her uncle, a Floyd Cardin concealed carry holder, pulled out his weapon first after being confronted for not paying a toll. They're demanding transparency from the city and the CTA.
He pulled out his. So the brother was. Listen,
The worker was
Dad off the train.
Did they say the worker was armed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shootout.
Wow.
They say what's your face pulled out the blicky when the report
Dad.
when the worker approached him about not paying his fare.
Right.
That's crazy. If I worked for CTA, I'd ask for hazard pay. Those guys got to get hazard pay. Got to.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's unfortunate because I mean, he probably had the blammer on the low. Like he probably never thought he would have to use it, right?
Right.
Not unless he really had to. And that night right there was when he did. That's crazy for an older man.
It's broad daylight. See, here's the thing. If the dude jumped the fair, man, you can have that shit, man. I'm not arguing with nobody in Chicago over a fucking jump fair. You know what I mean? Like you're there as a presence to deter. If your presence doesn't deter people from skipping the fair, fuck it. Don't be in there arguing with niggas. Because they said the dude pulled the gun on him. And I can believe that. But then
I think he said jump fair and see what happens.
Right. Exactly. Jump fair and see what happens. And that dude, well, then it's self-defense. Where's the GoFundMe?
Also telling me they don't believe the police description of the deadly shooting, telling me the police report says her uncle, a Floyd Cardin concealed carry holder, pulled out his weapon first after being confronted for not paying a toll. They're demanding transparency from the city and the CTA.
The story don't add up. It's been a lot of stories, and we want them to release the footage.
The judge ordering Hopkins have no contact with Flemister's family or the CTA, understanding he worked there. Prosecutors said they talked to CTA attorneys who supported no contact. Now, this hearing just wrapped up. I checked back in with Flemister's family. They said that the fact the judge is calling this self-defense only doubles up their ask for transparency and to see the video in this case. The judge also ordering that Hopkins surrender his guns and FOID card within 24 hours now. Still, again, no response from the CTA. Reporting live outside the Cook County Courthouse, I'm Tara Molina, CBS News Chicago Investigators.
Thanks for the update, Tara.
Wow.
Hey, man, real quick, with the new constitutional carry laws in the state, are there any firearms in the vehicle?
It's March 3rd, 2023.
Jesus, new first.
How much it costs to get on a train in Chicago?
Huh?
I'm just wondering, how much does it cost to get on a train in Chicago?
Probably like $3. Probably $3 if I
Potentially your life.
That's what it's looking like.
Oh, look, I found it. Remember I told you we found it on the First City.
We start here at 6 with breaking news. A 17-year-old boy has been shot just steps from Chicago Vocational High School on the south side.
We found it already in the First City. Another shooting at a school.
Yeah, I was right.
Already. We found it already. Come on, man. No other channel gonna find this for you, man. Make sure y'all support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Shout out to Barry B, man. We found it already, man. Shout out to S Freak, man. Listen. These niggas are the face of school shootings. It goes unreported. The white boy, once or twice a year, that write a manifesto and go to school and shoot up some shit. They act like that's the norm. That's every day in white schools. No, this is every day in nigga schools. And look at how much, this is a 20-second news story. Listen to what they dedicate to a fucking kid getting shot at a fucking vocational high school.
We start here at 6 with breaking news. A 17-year-old boy has been shot just steps from Chicago Vocational High School on the south side. Police say the teen was standing on 87th Street when someone in a vehicle pulled up and shot him. The victim was shot in the back and taken to Comer Children's Hospital, where he is expected to survive. The gunman got away.
That's it.
Wow.
It's so normal. It's so normal in nigga districts, in nigga jurisdictions. It's so normal. Wow. Wow. That is crazy. Let's see if any of the other channels cover it better than that. Yeah. See if any of these other stations cover that shit. Fox, man. Where Fox at? Yeah, Chicago Fox, man. See if they cover that shit. ain't that big. It's just nigga. This is another nigga kid getting shot in front of a school. Ain't nothing. Yeah, nah, they ain't covering it. Fox. Give me another city, man. Let's see if we can find another Negro child getting shot at a school.
L.A.
That's another easy one. Let's see. Shout out to Baker Fresh, man. Says 3rd grade reading level in high school. High school homeschooling is possible. The Dora the Explorer. Go buy Skittles and a drink at 7-Eleven with exact change and receipt. Yeah, man. Ain't no way these mammies can homeschool their kids, man. They can't even tell their kids. Yo, they don't even know where their kids is. Listen, if your kids don't follow the regular basic rules for your house, if you can't tell your kids when you go to that building, you respect the elders in there, you respect the teachers in there, you do your homework and you come home at a certain time, ain't no way you're gonna be able to fucking homeschool them if you can't do that.
They too busy on Instagram.
Yep. That shit is addictive too. I be addicted to
Or TikTok or whatever.
Give me a city, man. I don't want to do LA. LA too easy. Give me another city, man. Lexington, Kentucky. Let's do Lexington, Kentucky. Lexington. Let's see. Mugshot of the week.
It's time for our mugshot of the week. Congratulations to Priscilla Miller. Priscilla wins an LAX 18 mug for this photo of a spectacular sunrise in Stanford.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Be a lot of white people over here. Let's see.
Right, Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh yeah, I know Louisville is a whole different ball game, man. You don't need a lot of black people, though. You just need a couple, man. So we still might be able to find something here. You still might be able to find something here, man. Come on, blacks. Where y'all at?
I got a question, Huck.
Go ahead.
The stereotype for sons is their son upbringing is, they'll beat their kids. Has that increased or decreased the level of, beatings in the last 20, 30 years? How's that playing all
Kids
this?
don't get their ass whooped nearly as much as they did when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, it was slowing down. I was in that generation where it all the transition happened where it was taboo to beat your kids. By the time I was, when I was a little kid, it was normal to beat your kids. And then as I grew up, it became taboo to beat your kids. So, I remember, back in the 80s, early 80s especially.
My behind beat, period.
Yeah, you get your ass whooped. It wasn't nothing either. It wasn't nothing. All your little buddies was getting your ass whooped too. So it wasn't like you was just alone. Like all your buddies got their ass whooped. Everybody in my neighborhood, all my little buddies got their ass whooped. All of them. So it wasn't like something where you would be because you could hear the screamings because we had a close-knit community and there's an apartment building with a courtyard in the middle. You could hear niggas screaming from getting their ass whooped, especially if you knew they did something and then they had to go in the house, you could hear them screaming. I'm just gonna get your ass whooped. Yeah,
my mother was a corrections officer at Rikers Island. She used to go hard. She wasn't playing, and I was scared, so I wasn't trying to get beat up.
Were you scared straight?
I was scared. No, I was raised right. That's what I was. Okay, but then when my mother became an officer, it wasn't no joke.
Maybe
In
they
my
haven't
experience,
taken that's their generational trauma.
in my experience, you can hear sons even when they're trying to be quiet. They're just loud.
His dad was once the Republican governor of Kentucky, but Matt Bevin's adopted son, Jonah, now has an emergency protective order against the former governor.
He's 18 and has a lot to say, including claims of abuse, neglect, and abandonment. Our Lee Searcy
No
talked to him,
racism?
and we want to warn you, some of the details may be disturbing.
That's a new one.
When Matt Bevin ran for
Just the
public
picture was
office, his
disturbing.
large family was always right there with him. That's Jonah, one of 4 children from Ethiopia the Bevins adopted. He was 5. He says they looked like one happy family, at least in the public eye.
But when I got older, I started understanding things like a whole nother level, and I started seeing things that just didn't fit. And I started calling things out.
How was life different when the cameras were not on?
Oh, it's very different. I mean, you can see it now. I mean, they're divorced already. I mean, they're filing for divorce and all that. So you can see the family wasn't stable. And I was just the one that was being hidden, because they didn't want me to speak up for myself. I was the one that really had to be hidden. And there was also good enough reason for them to send me off to another program or 2 programs, because if I said something, then it would put his public image at risk.
At 13, he says the Bevins sent him to his first reform school called the Masters Ranch, where children's rights attorney Don Post says kids slept in coffin beds. It was the first of several programs Jonas says the Bevins sent him to.
He was often transported in the middle of the night by professional transporters. And so there was no face-to-face goodbyes.
Well, yeah, because it's set up in a way where they don't have to do the dirty work, and the dirty work is on someone else. So it's easier for them to do.
You
The dirty work?
Let me say this. This little motherfucker could have been bad as shit.
Yeah,
he could have been a hell on wheels, because like, you getting sent to these places for a reason. You don't just get sent to these places for no reason. It's threats. Like, I've been there. Like, it's threats. You gotta get yourself together. They don't just wake up one morning, oh shit, man, your room ain't clean, you're going straight to the. No, it's like it builds up to that. So if he got sent away,
13, 14, that's the age.
Exactly.
He looks like he had some other sons in the family too. In that picture.
This whole story is just like, who fucking cares?
Well, listen, if this is a white family, look at this white family, right? This white family, they had a couple biologicals, and they adopted a bunch of Africans. You can tell these are fucking Horn Africans. These ain't Nigerians and shit. These motherfuckers. Well, this one might be. But these ones, this one and that one, they motherfucking Ethiopians and shit, right?
You can tell by their faces too.
Yeah. So they this seems like a nice family, man. And whatever, this is the chink in their armor. You got to be perfect when you gliders, man. Gliders are held to a standard of perfection, man. You know that. Perfect. These people were not perfect.
Masters Ranch, where children's rights attorney Don Post says kids slept in coffin beds. It was the first of several programs Jonas says the Bevins sent him to.
He was often transported in the middle of the night by professional transporters. And so there was no face-to-face goodbyes.
Well, yeah, because it's set up in a way where they don't have to do the dirty work, and the dirty work is on someone else. So it's easier for them to do that.
Jonas says the Bevins ultimately abandoned him at an abusive facility in Jamaica last year, where he says he and other children were brutally beaten. The school was shut down, and he ended up.
So then they took him somewhere else, and those people abused him. Okay, well, whatever.
Back in the States, homeless. But even then, he says the Bevins never tried to help him. Since sharing his story, a GoFundMe has been set up to help Jonas start over. He appreciates
Cha-ching.
that, but says he now wants to use his experience and name recognition to help other children in similar circumstances.
But you do see a lot of adoptees that the parents don't want anymore. And they don't want the responsibility, so they throw them away in programs and forget about it.
And that is really
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of fucked up. If you adopt a kid, you supposed to, like, you should have to be there for that kid's life, just like a real parent. You know what I'm
They
saying?
probably wanted to whoop his ass. They say, you know what? We about to let somebody else do the dirty work. He said the dirty work. That sound like they wanted to whoop his ass. He probably was giving them hell.
Pantheon's in the back.
All right.
Yeah, I wonder what the parents' side of the story is.
Yeah, they're not gonna get to say their side, not in this shit. Not no gliders. Salute Gouch Malo. Shout out to Eric S. He said smash the topic showed checkout. Smash the topic showed checkout. What's up, Pantheon?
Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone?
Everything's cool.
Pantheon.
All hail Pantheon.
The message that I hope people hear is that this is not a one-off. I am representing a lot of kids and they're in pretty desperate circumstances. And I'm trying to, help them and do legal work for them as well all across the country.
Jonah's message to other children who feel abandoned.
Don't give up. You might not see the hope in the moment, but there's hope at the end of the tunnel.
Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
It's good to see that, in life, for any one of us, there could be a barren, purple-haired glider lady out there to rescue you.
Yeah, he probably smashing her too.
One of them, yeah, definitely. Glider women always sleeping with fucking young boys. That's true. Let's see.
The purple hair of kindness and justice.
Give me another thing, man.
Like they're trying to claim it's racism, but did he do it to any of the other adopted kids? No. Think about that.
I don't know if they said it was racism.
I don't think they said racism, surprisingly.
Yeah, they didn't say racism.
They would try to make it a racism, but that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't do it to any of his other kids, but that one kid. So that kid was probably just a problem.
But he didn't abuse them. He sent them to this one school, reformatory school, that didn't straighten them out. Then he sent them to another reformatory school in Jamaica, and it was like, "Fuck it, we cutting ties with you." So they never said that they actually abused him. It was always the place for the
he said he was abandoned. They sent his behind packing. They said, he got a defect.
Imagine he was just like carjacking people or some shit like that.
If they didn't send him to the coffin bed, he probably would have been out there carjacking.
Would have been in a real coffin, maybe. Who knows?
Jeez.
Exactly.
Give me a city, man.
Cincinnati.
He said smash the topic showed Wilma Hutchins. Smash the topic showed Wilma Hutchins. Okay.
I still
look at you, man. Is it Cincinnati?
Yep.
We are pushing for answers this morning after at least 3 shootings in just a few hours across Cincinnati.
And one of them left a 25-year-old man dead very close to UC's campus. And now a teenager is charged with his murder. WLWT News 5's Richard.
So a teenager killed a 25-year-old man near the University of Cincinnati. I don't know if that considers a school shooting. But we know that the 15-year-old that killed this guy was not fucking white. You know he was probably.
There's enough sons. There's enough sons shooting at each other that statistically it's bound to happen in front of a school at one point or another. It doesn't technically count as a school shooting.
Yeah, but listen, you have to shut down these schools when that happens. You know they have to lock down because of the policy. When there's a shooting in the area, in the school there, you automatic lock down. So that does affect the school. You can't ignore that part of it.
Childs live from Short Vine, where this all happened. So, Richard, you've been making calls about this. You've been reporting on it for about 24 hours now. Keep us up to speed on what happened.
Hey, well, Kelly, this is a shooting that has left the university campus stunned. The crime scene tape is still here where the shooting taking place on Saturday night. 25-year-old Kyle Merrick shot and killed outside of this liquor store. The shooter, according to Cincinnati police, 15-year-old boy. Now, this shooting incident taking place around 9:30 on Saturday night. Cincinnati Police District 4 officers responding to the intersection of Short Vine and University, just outside of this liquor store. In fact, bullet hole still remains in the glass where this shooting takes place. It is a very graphic scene for those folks who live in this community. Again, they remain stunned and shocked. We had an opportunity, in fact, to talk with Kyle just weeks ago. Describes himself as a social media influencer, his videos appearing on YouTube. But talking to so many people in this UC community, again, students remaining shocked that something like this can happen in this university community.
I've definitely heard gunshots and I've definitely seen the police here, but never to this extent.
I'll definitely be keeping my head on a swivel, kind of looking out for things like that, but just trying to keep my head in the right place.
Now, this is an area where, again, on a Saturday night, it's warm, it's springtime.
That white kid said, try to keep his head on the swivel, keep his head in the right place. I mean, you got to keep your head on the swivel, man.
And he says, and looking out for stuff like that. He didn't specifically say what he's looking out for and what kind of activities they might be doing.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Now, this is an area where, again, on a Saturday night, it's warm, it's springtime. There are a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, a lot of people out, of course, enjoying themselves, a lot of students. It is a mix where the university campus meets with the rest of the city. So we're seeing a lot of folks in this area, this intersection of Short Vine and University, one that is a very complicated community. Now, again, the shooter in this incident, 15-year-old boy, again, expected to be arraigned later this day. Reporting live this morning, Richard Childs, WLWT News 5.
He just provided all.
Man. Oh, new prosecutor in Cincinnati.
Hamilton County prosecutor.
That's great. You got a new white prosecutor, man. She gonna fix things, man.
Last week, Hamilton County prosecutor Connie Pillich ruled a Lockland police officer did not use excessive
Another
force
woke
when
rider
killing a man
woman.
along I-75 who had apparently been charging him with a pipe. Before that, Pillich met with the man's family to break. Lockland police officer did not use excessive force when killing a man along I-75 who had apparently been charging him with a pipe. Before
Damn, she said the man charged the cop with a pipe. It got shot. She said that he did not use excessive force. That's pretty good, but
yeah,
I don't know. That's a good start for the glider lady.
Before that, Pillich met with the man's family to break the news.
And that was by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
The decision was one of several tough cases Pillich has overseen since she took office nearly 100 days ago, including 2 other non-fatal police shootings on I-75 and at least 3 murder cases. She also says she's in the process of creating a training program for new lawyers, upgrading the Office of Technology, including the addition of a new digital evidence tracking program at a cost of $1 million over 5 years. I also asked her if she would rule out asking for the death penalty.
That's kind of a whole nother story, but I can tell you that none of my lawyers in my office will have to bear that burden. I will be the only lawyer in this office to bear that burden.
Since taking office, Pillich says she spent most of her time away from the courthouse, meeting with area business and political leaders and law enforcement, even going to roll call meetings at local police districts. She also says her office has brought just as many cases to the grand jury for indictment so far as previous prosecutors. Still, she knows there's a perception because of her political background she may be more lenient than her Republican predecessors.
How can you convince?
There's a perception that because of her political background, she may be more lenient than her Republican predecessors. Oh,
Citizens of Hamilton County that you're not going to be soft on crime just because you're a Democrat.
No, because she's a woman.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. I mean, like in Philly, we had a prosecutor named Lynn Abraham. Like she pushed the death penalty so many times more than any other DA in the country. So, and she was a Democrat.
Now y'all gotta let him go, Larry. But you know, in general, though, women are going to be. You can't trust women in these types of positions. But yeah, let's see.
I think the way that I convince the ordinary citizen in our county that I'm doing the job is by the results of what I'm doing. And at the end of the year, we'll of course be able to present this data and people will see that I'm just as tough as anybody.
From downtown, James Pilcher, Local 12 News.
She said, "I'm just as tough as anybody."
And it didn't sound like she believed it.
Yeah, no, not at all. That place is going to the shitter. Here we go. Let's see. Is this the shooting that left the man dead? Teen charged with this murder.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Can we watch that again?
This is self-defense. Okay, this is I guess this is the teen. He looks like the teen. Pulls out. Oh shit. Guy runs down and he gets his gun out and he shoots. If you're not armed around here in these places where they got constitutional carry, you almost have to be armed once they do this shit.
That guy needs to get to the range. It looked like he fired 3 shots at him and he's still running away.
It could be
Wow.
delayed reaction as well.
Yeah.
I probably miscounted.
Jeez.
The guy who was shooting was a glider. Is that true?
I don't know. It looks like it. The guy who was returning fire, or the guy who was shooting
The
first.
guy who was shooting, the guy who was being pushed and running away.
The guy
Yeah,
who
he
was
looked like a
returning
glider.
looks more like a glider.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not a good shot for a glider.
You are about to see a bird napping in progress. The man in the video is hovering above the open bird display at the Petland store in Fairfield. Once the other customers walk away, he nabs a bird and scurries out the door.
This is a ringneck. They're amazing birds. They learn how to talk. They're great.
Valuable.
Yes.
How valuable?
He was $1,000.
Lisa Miller is the manager at the store.
He was walking around. He was asking to see a puppy. I was getting a weird vibe off of him, so I did not let him see a puppy.
She said she was getting a weird vibe off of him.
Birdman at Alcatraz.
But Petland gets busy. Employees helping people with puppies at the register, in the aisles, and the man was left alone.
So how did the suspect know that this particular bird is so valuable? The price tag is right on the side of the enclosure.
Then 2 days later,
He's
at
no
a
dummy.
Petland about a half hour away near Mason,
A customer came into the store asking if we sold a specific brand of dog food, making conversation, just, getting our defenses down, I guess.
then just like in Fairfield, the bird napper struck again.
We're walking around the store looking, see maybe it flew out. Nope. And then she was like, I bet that guy who came in here and stole it.
Word travels fast in the bird world. At the bird shop in Fairfield, they heard what happened. Some birds there, like these macaws, are worth $30,000.
We all got together and discussed making sure every cage is locked. Somebody's always on the main floor, 2 people, doors locked. We got cameras.
You're afraid it could happen here.
It could.
An investigation is underway after 2 birds were stolen from Petland stores.
But while we were doing this interview, Fairfield police received a call from an employee at a nearby store who had seen the story on Local 12's morning newscast and recognized the man in the video as 44-year-old Dontus McCoy. Police went to his home in College Hill where they recovered the birds and arrested him. He has a long rap sheet of thefts, one back in 2016
Of course
where he
he does.
stole a bird feeder.
Thank you for everyone that responded to the story.
Lisa Miller recorded a quick thank you this afternoon after police returned the birds, now back safe in their homes. This is David Winter reporting.
I'm sorry, but that woman is an idiot. Oh, we just thought something was off about him and we left him unattended.
But yesterday,
Yeah,
You didn't need to
I mean,
allow
but
him in the store.
here's my thing though. That woman is in a very tough position.
You can't ask someone to leave, like Ox says.
Right. That part too. But even besides that part, just like this son man could just flip the script, like and be like, "Yo, y'all being racist towards me."
That I'm
he
being
could not
racist.
steal something. He could not steal something, right? Buy a goddamn candy bar and it's get a lawsuit against you. Even though you know he came in there to steal, so he could flip it on you. Like sons have so much advantage in this situation. You say this woman knows, like she's been working in retail. She's probably worked in retail all her life. She knows that sons are gonna make a big deal if they know that you know they about to steal something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't care. I will be I mean, she was standing next to the
'Cause you
glass
black.
container.
You're black.
I'm fully aware, but she was standing next to the glass container and then left, even though she said she had suspicions about him. Literally turned her back on him. I don't care. Follow him around. If he buys like 1 tin of pet food, thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
The Korean
Give
business
me another
model.
city. Yeah, exactly. Give me another
Exactly.
city, man.
Hair shops.
You say, I think Eric S is saying that they have the shooter on Facebook, but I don't. Can you just send it to me? Can you just put it in the back chat? 'Cause I'm not seeing it. For the William Hutchins High School shooting, I don't see it.
Cybertoxin posted on the chat the shooter's information. Tracy Haynes, I
Okay.
think.
Tracy Haynes.
That's what I'm seeing. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's up here somewhere. Oh yeah, suspect in Dallas shooting is Tracy Haynes, facing a charge of aggravated assault, mass shooting. No mugshot yet. I'm still looking for a verified photo. He said that 12:48 a.m. on the chat.
Okay. Tracy Haynes. Tracy Haynes. Goddamn. That's definitely a son man. I don't know if Gladys is still doing Haynes. I mean, Haynes is still doing Tracy.
I see real name Tracy.
You see Gladys named Tracy?
Women, but not men.
Yeah,
Gen X glider, but I think I've heard or just in media of like a black male Tracy.
I've seen some black men named Stacy, Tracy, all that shit. Yeah.
That's it. Before they went to Ladarius.
Great white actor Stacy Keach had that name. He carried it proudly.
Ice-T's yeah.
Oh, that's Ice-T's name, Stacy?
Tracy.
Tracy, okay. Yeah, I know. I've known quite a few Tracys and Stacys. Give me a Give me another city.
Birmingham,
Flint.
Alabama.
Go
Oh, he
ahead.
said
Flint.
You said Flint. Okay, yeah, Tracy Morgan, yeah, Tracy McGrady, yeah. Andrew Libre says, have you talked about the case in Belton, Texas, the 2022 in trial now? Knife murder, high school self-defense plea, 1 million bond reduced to 165K. Only difference, the defendant is white, victim is Mexican. Send that to me, man. akintunde2@gmail.com. What'd you say? What city you say?
Flint, Michigan.
Oh God, that's another. That's a sun shithole.
This is.
Do they have clean water yet?
That's kind of overblown. A lot of little towns in America don't have clean water. I don't know if they do, but I know they got a black local government, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have clean water 10 years after they first started complaining about it. But there's a lot of towns in America, a lot of white towns in America that don't have clean water, and that nobody gives a fuck. There. Nobody gives a fuck about them little white towns, man. When them little white towns complain about not having free water, no celebrities show up. Nobody, no race grifters show up.
But also, I'm sure they would have got it fixed pretty quickly if they were a majority white town.
Shit. Let me see.
Who's the last celebrity out of Flint?
Well, blacks from everywhere come. Blacks from everywhere show up.
No, I mean like a real celebrity, like a glider celebrity, like
Probably
Michael Moore. Michael Moore was from Flint.
Oh,
Grand Funk Railroad was from Flint. Well, what was the last white person from Flint?
Look at this.
More and more people are complaining about the water quality in Lawrence County. It all centers on South Lawrence Utilities near Mitchell, Indiana. Our Hannah Fullman takes us there now, speaking with a homeowner about the growing problem.
I would love to have clean water.
People who call Lawrence County home see brown water like this frequently.
I would say it happens at least once a month, if not more.
Fox 59 received email after email about the ongoing problems, and the social media chatter online doesn't seem to end. We went to investigate, but there was a closed sign on the door of the South Lawrence Utilities, and the door was locked. When we tried to call, here's what happened.
Just wondering if you have any comment about what's been going on with the water lately. There's been no comment.
Lawrence County residents say the water was the worst they had seen over the weekend after a water line broke. They just want to see something change.
You can tell it's a white area because look how short the story is.
Going forward.
You got to think there's literally newborns bathing in this water. There's older elderly people that have to deal with this. So it's just kind of like, okay, at this point, like I have to stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves.
Reporting in Lawrence County, Hannah Fullman, Fox 59 News.
Yeah, man, that's very common. That whole thing about them niggas making it seem like that was something unique to them and racial. That was crazy, man. How they did that, man. That was crazy how they did that.
Many Winnipeggers have seen brown water flow.
Well, let me see. That's Canada. So you over there in the UK, Pantheon. So you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Black people lie about a lot of shit, man.
There have been some questions about the tap water in Latrobe the last few days. Residents have been reporting brownish water coming out of their taps.
Now, the Municipal Water Authority says this is because of low water levels at the reservoir, but that the drinking water is safe. As Krista Rose reports, some residents aren't sure.
This is the color of the water that's coming out of faucets in and around Latrobe, and it has residents concerned.
Friday comes, it's getting worse. Saturday comes, getting worse. And then Sunday morning, we filled up that cup and it was just brown.
Jacob Climo, like many in this small city, have been dealing with discolored water for days. And while he says the water at his house has gotten slightly better from what it was just 24 hours ago, the brown water coming from his faucets on Monday afternoon was far from clear. Climo said that he spoke with the Latrobe Municipal Authority, who told him the water is safe. But he says the second time he called and asked for an inspection on their pipes to make sure that there weren't any other issues with the water, he was hung up on.
This looks like Flint, Michigan water.
Could you imagine a nigga calling and somebody hanging up on him? Goddamn, Ben Crump will be there the next day, man.
I didn't say it's the same situation because
See, white people don't have no Ben Crump. They don't got no goddamn Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all that shit.
don't want it to be the same situation. But when I get hung up on asking about someone coming out to look at our pipes, you have to wonder, why? Why did you do that?
Was it racial?
Can we just get some answers? That's it.
Sometimes the sister's on the other end of that call.
The Latrobe Municipal Authority says that the reason for the discoloration is low water levels at the reservoir due to the drought and sediment getting into the lines.
See, you could tell white people all these reasons, the reservoir, the water levels, this, that. You can't tell black people that. It's racism. We the only people going through this. Why is us in this black town the only people in the world going through this? It must be racism.
Yeah, but that's what it was, because even for us in the UK, it was, Flint, Michigan, this majority black town, they have no water. Even the president has gone there and taken a sip of the water to say it's okay. Like, the thing was international.
I know.
So it was that everywhere else in America had mountainous, pure valley water, and this poor little town in Michigan, was harking back to slavery days and had brown water like their skin color.
And that's what they did. That's how they do it. Look at
People living in Weston are wondering what's in the water after multiple reports of nasty brown or yellow water coming out of faucets. Local 10's Ian Margol explains what's going on.
How is this even acceptable? This is absolutely ridiculous.
For some people living in Weston, seeing water like this has unfortunately become a regular occurrence lately.
It's been on and off for me since the beginning of summer.
Susan Bain has lived in Weston for 20 years, and she says she was very concerned by what she saw coming out of her faucet.
That first time I saw the brown water, I was brushing my teeth with clear water, and in the middle of brushing my teeth, the water turned brown.
And she wasn't alone. Other neighbors posted these pictures on Facebook showing their sinks, toilets, and bathtubs filled with nasty looking water.
It is unpleasant to see, it's unpleasant to be in, and so we certainly are aware of those concerns.
Weston City Manager Don Decker says they have definitely noticed an uptick in complaints lately, but he also says that's normal for the rainy season.
People aren't irrigating their yards as much, they're not having to refill their pools as much, and when water consumption is down, that water is more still in the...
Imagine telling niggas, hey, it's because something you're doing. You're not using... it's something you're doing, that's why your water's brown.
You and everybody in the county.
You talk about fucking hell you go out to here for that? Good God Almighty.
It's in their clothes too. I mean, they're not all right. They're not drinking it. Maybe they're not even bathing in it. But if they're washing their clothes, all those chemicals or whatever that stuff is, those toxins is in the fibers of their clothes. They're walking around and all day absorbing it.
System, and therefore is creating some of the sediment and so forth.
That sediment, he says, is a mixture of rust and other minerals that settle in the water when it sits still for too long. But he insists the water is definitely safe.
It is safe. The water is measured for safety.
Imagine telling niggas, yo, the water's still safe. You can still drink it. Oh, God. Yo, listen, man. These are things that they talk to white people in a way they would never be able to talk to black people. You could never talk to black people like this. Black people not having it, man. You racist. We're the only people on the planet going through this. You're racist, and that's it.
Today, the water is clear at Kevin Lopez's home in Hewlett, Long Island, but he says that isn't the norm.
All our water comes out brown, from the tubs to the sink.
He says that's the case for all his neighbors, and a complaint heard for years by many people living in what's known as the 5 towns in Nassau County. Enrico Verani of Hewlett says he has to stock up on bottled water.
When you see brown water coming out of your faucet, is it something you'd actually want to drink when you see it?
No, we wouldn't. I mean,
What a stupid question.
You don't drink their water.
The area's water supplier, New York
Are
American.
you retarded,
says
sir? Do
despite
you normally
its
drink the brown water?
The water is safe to drink. The water is tested every day. It's tested by us. It's tested by the Nassau County Health Department as an independent check. And the water does meet all applicable standards.
Well, even if I hear it, it's not enough because what I'm seeing is what's grossing me out.
What customers are seeing is iron sediment that's come loose from buildup in aging pipes. The water company says it's replaced more than 39,000 feet of old water mains in the 5 towns in the last 5 years. It's installed more iron removal facilities and are researching other ways to improve water quality.
We're working with the Nassau County Health Department to
If only some black guy
look
would
at
steal
raising
a
the
bird.
pH of the water.
Move the story along.
Yo, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, no matter what black people complain about, it's always turns out to be some bullshit. If you just look like the slightest bit
Like
of
slavery,
like
for
research. I don't know about that, but the slightest bit of research, you can see, oh man, this is bullshit. You need Boston.
Well, new at 6, dirty brown water is flowing from faucets in Gloucester. And tonight, one frustrated homeowner says that water even made his dog sick.
WBZ's Mike Sullivan is in Gloucester with the changes that the city is now making.
Love that dirty water. The phrase is synonymous with Boston, but you won't get that sentiment in Gloucester.
It's gotten so worse. It's so to a situation where I had to go out and get a water filter system.
You will find that hookup in Joseph Kleiss's shower.
At what point did you really notice something was wrong?
By the second shower.
That's it?
Yeah. I put the brand new filter in. After the second shower, I couldn't believe it was brown.
These filters are supposed to last 1 to 2 months.
Within 8 to 10 showers, you have to change your filter. And I mean change it quick.
The water here comes out with a yellow or brown hue, the amount of which can vary. It's forced Kleiss to switch to bottled water for everything else, especially his pets.
What was the time period of those 8 to 10 showers?
Oh man. Wow, this is, I mean, just think about it. Now let's look at Flint. Let's see what they talking about, how they covered the Flint shit.
Racism in the water. Eyewitness News. What you don't know about water and racism can kill you.
They might give me a strike for 60 minutes. Let me use 60 minutes.
Dramatic music, number 1.
We're here in Flint 10 years after that infamous water switch. It is hard to believe so much time has passed. And while there's a lot to celebrate, pipes have been changed, educational program support for those affected, the reality is for many people in this community, life is still very challenging.
What educational support do you have to say there's either iron or rust in your pipes, but we're changing them? Why do you need educational support?
Because you have to tell the nigga that it's not racism. It's not racism. It's rust. It's rustism. And that takes a long time. Like he don't get it the first time.
Janaea McDonald doesn't trust the water here in Flint still. Her health and the health of her children affected by drinking that poisoned water. She's reminded of the crisis every day.
This water crisis, the water causes autism. I am really believing that.
Yeah.
And my son.
And he can't say, ma'am, that's actually not true. But
you feed them chemicals in your food daily.
It's a vaccine that causes autism, but
well, listen, autism causes autism. Autism causes autism.
Not the vaccine.
If that water caused autism levels would be higher in that area than they would be in the rest of the country.
No, I know it's not the water.
They just feel a lot safer drinking clear water with plastic in it than red water with rust in it.
And so do I. I'm not trying to drink that brown shit either. I'm just saying that it's not just Flint by a long shot. I could have been on for hours just going to every little town, white town, and bumblefuck where they got fucking brown water. And they did, like they said, they changed the pipes in Flint and they educated the people about it. And here we are 10 years later. That's what they did at all those little white towns, right? They changed the pipes. The fucking man from the fucking water agency came and said, hey, this, that. And you never heard shit about it again. These niggas, 10 years later, we still talking about.
And he had rashes everywhere. And I lost a lot of hair.
She lugs bottled water inside her Flint home once a week, relies on a filter for cooking, only bottled water to brush her teeth. Her pipes have still not been changed.
I don't think I'm still waiting. I think they're done. I think they're not interested in going from the sidewalk into the house.
Janaea, like many here, feels that people no longer care about what's happening in Flint.
What if your water isn't safe? What if your government is lying to you about the levels in your water? At this point, I would tell any and everybody, go buy a test and test your own water.
Flint's mayor at the height of the crisis was Karen Weaver. Weaver still in Flint today, still politically active, still fighting for Flint.
What has failed is that we are still in fear of the water. We don't trust the water. And
sorry, I have a quick question with regards to the previous woman. So if they've changed the main pipes, but you're saying they haven't changed your internal pipes of your house, wouldn't that just be the job of a plumber?
Yep.
Usually, yeah.
Or contractors.
But who's going to pay for it? I'm sure is what it's about.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, because I mean, if they've done the main pipe, then she just needs to flush her own pipes out, which would be from a plumber.
Yeah, but that's not going to what's going to cause the water. The water being brown is going to come from the sediments in this, and all that's going to come from the main pipes. That's not going to come from
yes,
her house.
No. But what I'm saying, if they've changed those main pipes as they said they had, then if she's still complaining about her own pipes, that's the job of an individual plumber to clean out her own house pipes.
But she probably don't even got brown water. No, they just, you gotta understand, like, they got a lot of attention for this shit. Like, they got
it was international. That's what I'm saying.
It was they for them to just be like, all right, everything, that's kind of like their claim to fame. You know what I'm saying? This is like, and then once it became like racism, like, look at all these white people getting charged.
Has thrown out charges against 7 people charged in the Flint water crisis. Those charges include Michigan health leaders and Flint emergency management staff. The Michigan Supreme Court said their indictments were tainted since they were handed down by one judge rather than a grand jury. The water crisis started.
They found a judge somewhere, like they do now, to indict some people for that shit. in an attempt to shut the black activists up. Look here, we give you all these fucking heads on a stick. Are you happy now?
We gave you Darnell early, which is he's never been on time once in his life.
That's a good one.
Jimmy Fields, everybody.
10 years ago, a water crisis began when the city of Flint, Michigan switched to the Flint River for its municipal water supply. The more corrosive water was not treated properly, allowing lead from pipes to reach into many homes. Usher Qureshi went to Flint to speak with residents about what the past decade has been like.
An American city sickened by its own drinking water.
These are all your medications.
Yeah, I was prior to 2015, January of 2015, I was on one multivitamin every day.
How many pills do you take a day?
I take 15 prescribed pills every day.
Melissa Mays became one of Flint's loudest voices. She's among tens of thousands still waiting to see any payment from a $626 million class action settlement for their exposure.
We're trying to be civil,
turning the public water supply brown.
No one's in jail. The pipes aren't replaced. The yards aren't fixed. We don't have health care. Basically, what we were told was that it's okay to poison us. We don't matter.
Trouble began when the city, in economic freefall, disconnected its water supply from Detroit's system and began drawing from the Flint River instead. It was a bid to shave millions off the city's budget. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimated 100,000 people were exposed when the corrosive chemicals used to decontaminate Flint River water allowed lead from the pipes into faucets. At least 12 people died from Legionnaire's disease, brought on by bacteria in that water. Results from children's blood tests were a red flag for one pediatrician.
There is no safe level of lead.
By summer 2015, Dr. Mona Hanna Atisha discovered that the number of children with dangerous levels of lead in their blood doubled.
That is the moment.
Okay, so that right there, what they say, Legionnaire's disease. Let's see if we can find that anywhere else, man.
As the mother of two children.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Let me just do lead and water.
As the mother of two children, I can think of nothing worse than having your kids have to drink that kind of water and having no other choice.
Yeah, definitely, man. It says no safe level of lead in water. So any lead in water is bad.
But I could have sworn all over the country they got rid of lead pipes a long time ago.
No, they switched their shit and something happened. They said they switched it and something happened. Let's see this one.
The city of Folsom sent out a letter to thousands asking them to check their pipes. They're taking inventory of the material used in water lines leading into people's homes. Thanks for staying with us here at 5:30. I'm Hunter Sowards.
And I'm Curtis Ming, your reporter covering Sacramento County. Tori Apodaca is live from City Hall getting answers on the push behind this letter. Tori?
Curtis, Hunter, the city of Folsom wants to make it clear that that letter was not to cause alarm. Instead, it was sent out as part of its lead assessment program that it's mandated to complete by both state and federal governments. But the people we spoke with who received that letter say that it still was a bit of a scare. Maria Hills doesn't think twice about the water she gets from her faucets.
It looks good, doesn't it?
That is, until she received a letter from the city of Folsom.
There's a potential that some or all of the service line could be made of lead or galvanized pipe.
Hills was one of 6,600 Folsom residents to receive this letter that the type of water pipes leading into her home has.
And listen, man, these things, both things could be true. Flint could have had a water crisis, and when you have a water crisis, and it becomes national news, people who are sick start telling their testimony. And because there's so many cameras around and there's so many reporters covering it, those stories become huge. Like, hey, man, I'm sick. I'm taking all these pills. And it's like, hey, you over there, hey, my kid dealing with this. And all that shit is happening in every town. As a lady in every fucking town that take a lot of pills every day. It's a family in every town that's having an autistic kid every day. You know what I mean? It's kids that are sick, chronically sick in every town every day. But if you got all this, if the whole world and celebrities and athletes descend on your town, those stories become highlighted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's what happened with George Floyd.
Yeah.
Everybody just got on board and made it a story.
Same thing happened to a white guy in Dallas, Tony Timpa, I think, or whatever was his name. But nobody ever talked about that.
Right.
And we all know why.
It's pretty encouraging to the community and to us as well.
The Water Box makes its public debut to help with the Flint water crisis. Israel Tillman is the pastor here at First Trinity Missionary Baptist Church. His organization teamed up with nonprofits and even Hollywood celebrities to make this dream a reality.
That this is the idea and picture of what we should do. We try to look within and find other solutions so we can.
Tillman says the Water Box filters out contaminants before volunteers load it into containers. He adds that it will reduce bottled water waste while ensuring the water is of the highest quality. Sherman Perkins stopped in today to give the water a try.
I'm sure the water coming out of that hose is safe.
Means a lot. You know, we're getting clean water.
Jerome Rothkopf is an engineer and helped design the Water Box. He says it's the first one his organization built and is hoping to bring it to other communities that may need it.
So the 3 filters are going.
What do you mean other communities that may need it? The only community that's going through that is Flint.
I spent a minute listening to that story and I didn't even get to see Jaden Smith.
Right.
What production is that?
I feel like the Water Box lasted as long as this new segment.
And teamed up with nonprofits and even Hollywood celebrities to make this dream a reality.
That this is the idea and picture of what we should do. We try to look within and
they don't really care about
Yeah.
it.
Oh Jesus, what the hell is that?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, anyway, he was one of the celebrities that was on that shit. But yeah, man, listen, man, let's get back to the regular scheduled program. Got kind of off track right there, man. But salute to the people in Flint, man. I hope y'all, you know what I mean, y'all get y'all water straight, man. Salute to y'all, man. In Baltimore, man.
Outside the Sun is Food Market on Polk Street near Homestead Street in East Baltimore Friday. There's peace after the disturbance.
Make sure y'all support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat, man. We the only ones bringing you the what was really going on, what's still going on, man. They try to act like it ain't going on no more. Nah, motherfucker. This shit's still going on, man.
No sign of the gun violence earlier that left 2 males, 15 and 17 years old, shot. Samuel Lee, on his daily walk to the convenience store, was there Thursday morning, just before the gunfire erupted later that day.
I was in the kitchen. I heard it. I heard the shooting. So by the time I turned around to tell my grandson, don't go in the window. Because I said, don't look out the window, because I said, I don't know who out there shooting. And all of a sudden, I just seen a guy going up the street with his leg blooded. I said, that boy live up the street. I said, well, what happened?
That shooting outside the store, one of 8 shootings with 9 people shot in just 4 days between April 6th and April 10th this week. 5 of those shootings in the Eastern District. Most of the gunshot victims, teens. Residents like Lee frustrated over the gun violence.
They can only, police can only do what they can do. They out here to protect him, me, you, and everybody else.
Again, we don't know exactly in this shooting whether it was a beef or, what's going on.
Councilwoman Odette Ramos represents the area where the
Looks like she's being mugged.
happened. We pressed her for answers, including what is she doing to help curb the violence for her constituents.
I work with the community to make sure that they are feeling safe. We do community walks. We make sure the police are held accountable. And so
We make sure the police are held accountable.
Isn't that hilarious? Because the police are the problem.
They have body cameras now.
The police are the problem here, clearly. We got to keep an eye on those police, man.
Same old shit, man. Same old story.
That's how she got elected. I was wondering how this fucking Latino woman got elected in this black neighborhood, talking shit like that. Wow.
Maybe she's gay too.
The violence for her constituents.
I work with the community to make sure that they are feeling safe. We do community walks. We make sure the police are held accountable. And so I'm supporting them all the way.
How has BPD responded to these recent shootings? What do police believe is fueling the recent gun violence? And what arrests have been made or any persons of interest?
How many tips have they got? Have any fucking witnesses come forward? What the fuck? How about that?
Developed in the investigations. Police responded. A spokesperson with an email that reads in part, the Eastern District has adjusted their deployment, which includes deployment of officers from our Special Operations Section to curb any retaliatory violence. Additionally, Eastern District Command
Somebody better keep an eye on
sharing
them.
intelligence to conduct extractions of key individuals responsible for recent violence. And lastly, Eastern District detectives are currently working with the state's attorney's office in obtaining criminal charges on 2 recent violence investigations. Meantime, Lee, relieved that his daily walk to the store Thursday came early.
Thank you, Lord. But I didn't go over there that day, that evening. I said, phew.
In East Baltimore, Keith Daniels, Fox 45.
What's he buying one of every day? That he's there every day. What's he buying?
He may be just using it as a way to get out the house.
Oh yeah. But I mean, still, he's probably showing up.
Lotto ticket. I can tell you right now, it's a lotto ticket.
Lotto ticket.
Yeah.
If he bought 7 of them at once, he could stay home
Baltimore
all
County
day.
Police are investigating the murder of a
All week.
16-year-old in the Wilkins neighborhood just after 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. This comes as the county has seen several shootings involving young people already this year.
Yeah, and tonight residents are voicing their safety concerns. Sunday afternoon, along this now empty sidewalk in Wilkins.
All right, one down, GSW.
Baltimore County Police responding to a shooting. Victim, a 16-year-old, later pronounced dead. Suspects, according to police audio.
About 5 males in their late teens.
Possibly other juveniles. The crime, leaving residents stunned.
I heard the news this morning. A young kid like that. Come on, man.
Shooting, just the latest in the county involving juveniles.
It's not innocent. Everything. It's out here.
Last month, a 16-year-old was shot and killed near Lansdowne High School.
That shot me
What?
more than anything. Because I mean, like, I'm a veteran. And I saw him.
You see what's in his hand? You see what's in his hand?
Lottery tickets.
There they are.
Yeah.
He's already beat the odds by living that long, so maybe he can get lucky.
Especially in a Sun neighborhood.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the problem. See, the news said young people. The police on the police radio said young people wearing 5 teens wearing ripped jeans.
Those poor kids can't
when we all know,
afford
unless they can say it just because it is a predominantly Sun neighborhood, so they don't need to add the extra.
In
descriptor.
Baltimore,
Yeah.
everyone knows it. Yeah, it's black kids. Everyone knows it's black kids in Baltimore.
At the time of the shooting,
the individual appeared to be a younger individual.
Baltimore County Police Chief Robert McCullough describing the suspect as a
Chocolate
juvenile.
Easter egg.
The suspect in this case clearly
Got his head,
targeted
man.
the victim in this case.
Is that thing
That's
full of
not the
nougat?
only
What the
target
hell?
Baltimore County Police are in.
Yeah.
investigating involving juveniles.
Criminal male, gunshot, wound to the right leg. I'm putting a tourniquet on now.
In January, a 15-year-old was shot in Essex just after 1:30 in the morning. Police arresting 2 people for that shooting and charging them with attempted murder.
They got gun, but how do they get the gun?
The
Oh
shootings are
God,
minor.
how they that don't fucking matter, man. They got the gun. They're gonna get another one if you take that one from them.
of the crime facing Baltimore County,
It's everywhere.
leaving some without
Who
much.
that LL Cool J? What the old ass? What the fuck? God damn.
Like if you took off at the top half of LL Cool J's head, that's what it would look like. He's another one with a big old dome.
Jeez.
Without much to say about the recent violence.
Ain't nothing to say, really.
See, he doesn't have that frontal cortex. That's why the hat sits so low on his head.
Hi, I'm Maxine Stryker. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and check out Fox Baltimore on social media to find more stories.
We have new information tonight on a murder investigation in Tunica County. The sheriff's office telling us one suspect is in custody in connection to a deadly shooting Sunday night that took the life of an 18-year-old. And tonight, a second suspect, a 17-year-old, remains at large. WRG's Mike Sirianni spoke with the victim's mother about her loss.
I feel like I raised him the correct way. I guided him. I tried my best.
Tuesday, Whitney Thomas.
She's
Madam.
not working at the circus today.
Madam. I already spoke about George Floyd yesterday, knowing his life outcomes from a certain
Look at the
age.
one behind her,
Madam, respectfully with your children.
The one behind her looks like a totem doll that you would put a curse on to you stick needles in.
It's just her sunglasses.
She thinks she did a great job. Well, okay, let's see.
We have new information tonight on a murder.
I hearken on all of you to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Indeed.
Hit the like button. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chat. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Investigation in Tunica County. The sheriff's office telling us one suspect is in custody in connection to a deadly shooting Sunday night that took the life of an 18-year-old. And tonight, a second suspect, a 17-year-old, remains at large. WRG's Mike Sirianni spoke with the victim's mother about her loss.
I feel like I raised him the correct way. I guided him. I tried my best.
Tuesday, Whitney Thomas, grieving the loss of her 18-year-old son, Mackenzie Thomas, murdered Sunday night near the intersection of Carroll Street and Edwards Avenue.
You can spot him out a mile away because he had that certain walk and that certain build. And you know who he was from a long distance. That's Mackenzie coming down the street.
She says her son was found on this front porch. Tunica County SO reporting Thomas was shot and died on the scene. Just a short walk, his mother says, from his home.
They took my baby away. Right here at this place. I was here. He took his last breath. I was here. His mama was here.
Tuesday.
Oh man, she's a sweet lady, man. She seemed like a sweet lady, man. I don't want to dog this one out, man. Seemed like a nice lady, man.
I thought she was the perpetrator's mother, so I take it back slightly. I rescind my statement temporarily.
She seemed like a nice lady, man.
Canvassed a large area near the crime scene looking for evidence, not ready to reveal a motive for the murder, but confirming one of two suspects is in custody.
How does this old man
Still,
still have a gun?
17-year-old Mario Lester Jr. from Tunica remains.
That is true. Somebody in the chat did say something, though. It is true, though. Like, would she be taking it this well if it was a glider or a cop that killed her son?
Oh, of course not. And the whole community would have been out with her. Instead of maybe her sister or cousin in the interview, it would have been Ben Crump, everyone standing around her while she was giving the interview.
Yeah. She was
Full police
a whole
presence.
different person. Oh man, that's crazy. That is crazy, man.
Still, 17-year-old Mario Lester Jr. from Tunica remains at large. He's wanted for first-degree murder and is considered armed and dangerous. Whitney Thomas says her son and the two suspects are related and hung out together almost daily.
But my child was a loving child. He had his days as a teenager coming up. Teenagers be teenagers. You know, I can't uplift and say he was the best, but he was mine and they took him from me. And I would like to know why.
She believes it would be best for all involved if Mario Lester Jr. turned himself in.
I don't know what triggered him to proceed in what he proceeded in, was taking my baby away. I just really want justice.
For your news leader in Tunica County, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
She hit all the bullet points.
So everyone involved is related.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Now, 2 young suspects are charged with murder and robbery in a deadly shooting on Indy's north side.
It happened in January. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke to the victims' parents today.
According to court records, the murder, which took place right here on this street behind me, stemmed from a date that turned into a robbery. The victim's family hopes both the 19-year-old woman who's accused of arranging the crime and her 18-year-old boyfriend who allegedly committed the shooting are held accountable for that senseless killing. Jarrell Pryor stayed out of trouble and worked hard raising his daughter Honey until he was set up, ambushed, and shot to death near 49th and Primrose, just north.
Jeez.
Boy, in 8 seconds, he was a wonderful young kid who was murdered. Jesus. Watch how fast he goes through this. Here he is with his daughter until he was set up. Brutally murdered.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like a speed run.
Who would set up a loving father? Who would set up a loving father with his daughter? Like, who would do that?
Of trouble and worked hard raising his daughter Honey until he was set up, ambushed, and shot to death near 49th and Primrose, just north of the state fairgrounds in late January.
I'm broken inside. I'm torn. I'm tore up.
He lost his life for going on a date.
In fact, just a few hours before Tamika and Travis Wiley's son was killed, police believe Pryor messaged this woman, Alexis Hawkins, asking,
Yo. I mean, they seem like good parents. They seem like a good family. I ain't gonna lie, man. Seem like he comes from a good family. Damn. This bitch, man. Hey, I be on them light-skinned girls. Everything light-skinned ain't like she red. Yeah, but she ugly. Yeah, but she red. God damn,
I'm not into like the colorism thing at all, but for either mixed or if you want to say light skin, she's not a top one.
Yeah, she's a rough looking. That's one rough looking mulatto right there, man. God, dog.
You know, if she smiled, it might help. You know.
I don't know, man. I think she is
not too
smiling.
sure.
Hawkins asking a 3-word question, when you free. This affidavit claims that while Hawkins agreed to go on a date with Pryor, she simultaneously began messaging her boyfriend, Brian Winston Jr., arranging to rob the unsuspecting victim.
It was a senseless act, and they didn't get it. They didn't get nothing out of it.
Baby greens.
And they took everything from us. You can't escape this type of pain. You can't. There's no running.
They seem like nice parents, man. They seem like nice parents, man.
The kid, though, jeopardizing his daughter by going out with that girl. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but when you young, come on, man. Come on, man. When you young, woo, when you young like that, you just dating. I definitely ain't gonna.
When I was young like that, the Japs were dropping bombs on Pearl Harbor. That was the quietest sneeze I've ever seen.
Listen, young people out here, think about if he was gay, he might have slept with like 500 different dudes that year. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody talks about that. Like he just out here dating. You know what I'm saying? Just out here doing, not even dating, just out here hollering at chicks and looking for some, action and shit. He ain't doing nothing wrong by doing that, man.
And she set him up.
Yeah.
From there's no getting away.
While talking to police, Hawkins allegedly admitted she was at the scene inside the victim's car at the time of the shooting, but denied taking part in the violence. For their part, police insist a series of messages between the two suspects ties them to the robbery and murder. Pryor's parents say they celebrated his daughter's 3rd birthday without him just a few weeks ago, and the arrest of the two accused killers does not ease the family's pain.
No justice will ever cure my broken heart. It's not going to ever bring my baby back.
It really doesn't matter if they spend the rest of their lives in jail. We lost.
Yeah.
And we have to deal with this pain every day.
Finally, Hawkins made her initial court hearing last month. Yeah. Winston has not yet gone to court. Both suspects are being held without bond pending trial.
Yeah. Wow. That's fucked up, man. God damn, that's fucked up. Well, this is an update
Only on 5 tonight, we're taking a closer look at the shocking video that shows the moments leading up to the shooting death of Pastor Ricky Floyd, specifically the warning shot the shooter gave before that, the warning, I should say, that shooter gave before that fatal shot.
Samantha Marion faces a charge of voluntary manslaughter for killing Floyd. Could her final words to the pastor hold any weight in her defense? Action News 5's Kelly Cook walks through the tape with an expert.
All right, so I want to show you this video, and I'm sure you've seen it.
This cell phone footage captured outside Mama's Bar on Kentucky Street around 1:15 a.m. on March 12th was taken by Samantha Marion. The man coming towards her was well-known Fraser pastor Ricky Floyd.
Well, it appears that he's angry or upset about something.
Benny Cobb has spent the past 4 decades in law enforcement. He's a former Shelby County Sheriff's captain. Now, a gun safety instructor who teaches de-escalation and self-defense classes. Most of his clients are women. From a self-defense perspective, we wanted his thoughts on what happens about 13 seconds into this video.
I'm backing back 3 times now. When I do that, back the up.
That her response,
I'm backing back 3 times. When I do that, what the fuck?
What happened next?
Your reaction to what she had to say.
You see what happened next?
You got shot. What else happened?
She smoked his ass.
Stabbed him in the heart.
Her response, your reaction to what she had to say.
Well, it's clear that she's.
Oh shit!
Just see what happens.
Yeah, listen, man. That guy's just for being a pastor, man. Finding yourself in this position is just crazy, man.
That she's giving a warning.
A verbal warning for Floyd to stop advancing towards her.
Is that something that you should do at any point when you feel like someone is coming towards you or might harm you?
You don't have to. You don't have to give a warning, a verbal warning. In the state of Tennessee, you have a right and a duty to defend yourself from serious bodily injury or death, even if the person doesn't have a gun.
Even if the person does not have a gun.
Or a knife, or a stick, or a brick. It could be size.
Wow. Yo. You're going to have a lot of trouble in Tennessee soon.
Carmeloville, Tennessee.
Right. Carmelo, they said they moving, right? Maybe they need to move to Tennessee, man. But here's the thing, though. I think they want to move to another white neighborhood. I don't think they want to move to a black area. Move to a white area. Damn, that's scary. That's terrifying to live around blacks and know how impulsive we are and how much shit. Like, I grew up in DC where it's like the strictest gun laws. There's no self-defense law because you're not supposed to have a gun. But there's no self-defense law in the book. And you can't even have a knife over 3.5 inches. Your blade got to be 3.5 inches. If the cops stop you and your blade is over 3.5 inches, that's a charge. So it's like very strict weapons and no self-defense laws. And we were the murder capital during my childhood. We led the nation in homicides. And it was niggas killing each other in this broad daylight in the streets. And I shudder to think to live around niggas with constitutional carry and fucking self-defense laws like this. Golly, man, how do you live around them like that?
What do you think the outcome is? You think it's going to be
Point
more guns, more gun activity? I mean, could there be any less, or could there be any more?
It's going to be a judicial nightmare. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Them cases, you're gonna have a lot more gun. You're gonna have a lot more gunfire between the active participants. You may have a less victimization of citizens because they know that they're not the only ones with the guns. They know the citizen might have a gun.
That's the theory, but you don't think the Suns hold true to that theory, that the knowledge that the other person most likely has a gun, so you don't keep your shit at bay?
I mean, that might stop. Yeah, like when you think about it, it wouldn't stop a lot. It might stop a little bit of it. But yeah, Son's still going to try you. Son's going to take your gun. Yeah.
It's to curb your impulse, and that's, I think, where the breakdown happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
When you feel like someone is coming towards you or might harm you,
You don't have to. You don't have to give a warning, a verbal warning. In the state of Tennessee, you have a right and a duty to defend yourself from serious bodily injury or death, even if the person doesn't have a gun.
even if the person does not have a gun.
Or a knife, or a stick, or a brick. It could be size. It could be, the person could be bigger. They could be trained to a level, or the victim could just be afraid.
According to the official police affidavit, 2 witnesses told investigators they, along with Marion, got into an argument with Floyd inside the bar. Marion's attorney says it was over religion. The witness says Floyd left the bar, and that's when Marion and the witnesses went outside. Floyd returned and became irate and aggressive towards all 3 of them, throwing Marion's phone to the ground and throwing a beer can. He then gets into his vehicle and begins to drive away. That's when Marion started filming with her phone. Floyd stops his SUV, exits, and walks toward her. The 25-second clip ends in chaos. A dispatch recording details the outcome.
They're responding to a shooting at 855 Kentucky at the Mama's Bar and Kitchen, and it was involving a female shooting a male who was constantly.
That is the most ghetto dispatch I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like, what the fuck language is she speaking?
Shooting at 855 Kentucky at the Mama's Bar and Kitchen, and it was involving a female shooting a male who was constantly approaching her and aggressive.
That's brown sugar. Okay, not one of the brown sugar don't call up here no more. I wonder what you was doing.
Manner.
When investigators arrived, the affidavit shows they observed 1 cartridge casing on the scene and what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the front of Floyd. Floyd was pronounced dead at 1:24 a.m. Marion was charged with voluntary manslaughter.
I've also heard people say, well, what about a warning shot? Instead of shooting and killing him, why didn't she just shoot a warning shot or shoot to harm but not to kill? What would be your advice in that situation?
A warning shot is against the law. Okay, the warning shots are not allowed. For the people that say shoot them in the leg or shoot them in the arm, that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible to do under stress.
We think that it's a classic self-defense case.
While some in the community may see the cell phone footage will lead to an open and shut case in favor of Marion, Cobb says that footage is only one side of the story.
According to the initial MPD report, there is other video, surveillance footage that they describe as good quality that seems to pick up where that cell phone footage left off.
Our camera spotted at least 9 security cameras on the property of Mama's Bar and across the street, which appear to give a bird's eye view of Kentucky Street. According to the affidavit, footage from 1 or more of those cameras shows a witness getting between Marion and Floyd, creating some distance. Video then shows Marion walk towards Floyd, who begins walking backwards, away from her. As he backs away, he is seen fall into the ground and does not get back up.
There's most likely something that the police department, attorney general has seen that we have not seen yet, because she was arrested and charged.
The case has shaken a community. A well-known and beloved pastor, seen in a manner his friends say was outside of his character.
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult for me to have this conversation because emotions are running high. I've talked with many people that knew him. He and I have done business together.
Two people who reportedly never knew.
Never met.
You know how both their lives would be different if the good pastor had just stayed in the bar and kept drinking, you know? He'd be alive today. She wouldn't have this hanging over her head if he just stayed in the bar and kept pounding him. The pastor.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Wow.
That could be the next sermon that weekend, you know? Explaining to the parishioners, stay in the bar. Don't go outside and start chasing bullets. Stay in the bar and drink. Peace be with you.
To a black family game. You think there's any truth in that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Curtis, go ahead.
Not being a sociologist.
What will you do if he comes walking out and comes to get
From Los Angeles in the Boulevard Cafe having lunch.
I don't know about the races, but I think that somehow or another. Basically, the implication is the same with the implication that Ray Brown talked about earlier.
About how the media has treated with this as a black-white issue?
Well, I think, my family,
we were found guilty today, that there would be any...
Weekdays, rated R, Friday, October 13th, at theaters everywhere.
It's within a reasonable time frame right after the verdict has been read. And this is largely, so Cynthia McFadden, our legal affairs correspondent, tells us, so that they can prepare for the future, so that they can have some turn to the Los Angeles County Jail and be processed out sometime having to do with this case, let alone the people watching it are tense. But he's managed to go on a great deal of the time. Here is the judge, for money, to put it bluntly, in what was regarded by virtually all of the legal analysts who had been on this case for so long as having made a very rapid decision, as in their view, reason to find that Mr. Simpson was guilty based on the evidence. Here again is Judge Ego.
And the record should reflect that. Number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder Section 187 upon the full-blown
Finally, they get a win, you know? They deserved that. All that slavery and stuff, they needed this.
Second day of October 1995, juror 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you please poll the jurors?
Number 3, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 4, as to count 1, is this your verdict? It's your verdict. Juror number 10, as to count 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 11, as to count 2. Juror number 1, as to count 2, is this your verdict?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to at this time take this opportunity.
It was done fair. Now the question is, who did it? It's awful short.
He did.
But like I said, this has been going on a long time. A lot of people was glad it's over with.
You know,
tell me what you thought about the verdict.
I thought the verdict was fair. They did not prove him guilty, and I agree with it 100%. They were about equal at some points, but the best team won, definitely.
They didn't really
Best
deliberate a
team.
long time, and I was afraid because of that. I think the defense put on an excellent case.
What do you think of the verdict?
I agreed with the verdict.
Then the defense has final argument.
I was surprised at it, but I felt all along it had to be more than one person. I disagreed with the fact that they never pursued another person.
Bob knew the evidence, and even if he did do it, the Mark Furman thing and everything just, I think, threw it off.
Oh boy.
Even if he did do it, the fact that a cop used the N-word allegedly did it.
A white woman has to lose her head. You know, a white lady had to pay for that crime.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, though, you know, looking back on the OJ verdict, I think in a way they did make the right decision because of all the sons that get let out or let off or given light sentences. It was pretty unlikely that someone as high profile as OJ would cut off another white woman's head. It was probably very low percentage of him repeating the crime.
Well, I mean, he had a lot of eyes on him, so yeah, considering that, yeah.
Even if he did do it, the Mark Furman thing and everything just, I think, threw it off. And I feel so.
She's probably a judge now somewhere.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Or I feel like Marsha Clark was ganged up on it sometimes because his defense team was.
Wow. Let's see.
So mighty.
What do you think about the verdict? I was surprised. I thought they would find him guilty, just based on the evidence, the physical evidence from the crime scene. I was surprised how effective Johnny Cochran was. They found him not guilty. I think the reasonable doubt. There was never anything that couldn't be explained away. I think the defense team did a good job of explaining away most of the items that the prosecution felt were important to the case. So would you say the defense put on the better? Certainly, the better paid team won. His blood at the crime scene. I don't believe there was a police conspiracy to frame OJ.
To do a job, we'll hand to the clerk the verdict, and of course, there's more than one verdict that's being required.
Yes, I think if you look at the certain things, just using good old common sense, it'll kind of make you believe that he was not guilty, because I can't see how one man could come up to two people and kill them like that with a knife and no one scream or put up a fight. I just couldn't understand that. And the people on the airplane, they testified that they didn't notice a cut on his hand when he was on the airplane. And all of a sudden, there's a cut supposedly from the glove that he was supposed to wear.
Were you suspicious that the LA cops set up OJ?
Not at all. I figured they would reach a not guilty verdict.
Because you followed the trial a little bit?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do you think the LA cops tried to set up OJ? Was that what this was about?
I think there were a lot of stones unturned. They kind of left themselves wide open.
Did the prosecution do their job?
Prosecution did quite well, but not well enough.
Yeah, and obviously OJ's defense team.
Very low percentage of him going out and killing another woman. Even if the cops weren't watching, he probably would have learned his lesson. He was one of the good ones.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would ask that Mr. Simpson step forward and try on the glove recovered at Bundy as well as the glove recovered at Rockingham.
All right, do you want to do that?
Oh, how do I put on these gloves?
You can do that seated there. All right. And I think so the jury can see, I'll ask Mr. Simpson to stand. All right. Mr. Darden, which glove do you have?
It's the first time he's ever worn latex. Not once. He ever worn one.
All right.
And after Mr. Simpson tries on the gloves, I would ask that he be required to step back over to the jury and again show him his bare hands.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Murdering.
So it was Darden's idea for him to put on the glove.
This guy's got the hands of a monster. He couldn't have done it.
As is our practice with these gloves, Mr. Simpson will have a pair of latex gloves on while doing this.
Don't they have any Magnum gloves for this brother, man? Come on. Milking it.
I'm handing Mr. Simpson the
He didn't even need those gloves.
that glove right in.
That's people 77.
Oh, man. There's just no way.
You know how hard it would be to pull a glove over a latex glove?
I believe these gloves had also been cleaned. There's no blood on them anymore. They'd been cleaned, and there's shrinkage that, is involved in cleaning them.
But just the material of the rubber glove is friction against whatever you're trying to pull over.
Like if you're wearing a condom. Oh, never mind.
Go ahead.
No, it's not appropriate. It's not child friendly.
You having a problem placing the glove on his hand?
Oh man, can't get that glove off.
Sustained.
That glove fits perfectly. That glove literally fits perfectly.
Smooth fit.
If you account for the glove under it, that glove fits perfectly.
If they'd had him put just even like a little baby powder on that glove, it would have on the rubber gloves. It would have just slid right in. It's the friction for sure, man.
That glove fits perfect. Because isotonic gloves like that, you don't want them. They're not supposed to be like big. Like they're not like they're supposed to be snug.
Like if you're going to be driving a sports car or murdering your ex-wife. This moment here probably made his kids feel a lot better. Like if this moment hadn't happened, his kids would probably be questioning themselves to this day. Did he do it? But this moment here probably saves them from that.
If
There's no way he could have killed mom.
You must have quit.
Yeah.
The glove literally fit like a glove.
How am I supposed to hold a knife with these gloves so tight?
That thing is baggy too. That thing is a little loose on there.
A little stretched out.
Yeah, that thing fits perfectly. That thing fits perfectly. That glove, literally, that's your glove, OJ.
This is People's 164A. Is that the right-hand glove?
Yes.
All right.
All right, I'll try it, but the other one was no good. This is probably going to turn out the same. You guys want me to walk through this? I'll do it, but geez, come on. It took less time to kill his wife than it did to put on these gloves.
Yo, that one fits too. They fit. Those are perfect gloves.
Would you just take a step back?
And here's the thing. Since when do gloves have to fit perfectly? Like you buy a pair of gloves from the store and whatever the fuck. Like what? Like,
oh man, I was gonna go out murdering tonight, but my gloves don't fit. Damn. Damn, these gloves. I gotta get some murdering gloves that fit. I have to stay in tonight.
Records reflect that Mr. Simpson has both Gloves. Yes.
Them shits fit perfectly. God, dog. Hold on, wait, do this. Them shits fit perfectly. Let me ask the chat, man.
Do they fit? Press 1.
Oh shit.
But this was a moment that I think, Sons needed. This right here. He's even got his hands up. It's a pivotal moment for justice. Restoring the dignity, His face doesn't look guilty. That looks like an innocent man right there.
Yeah, facts, man. He didn't do it. That everybody take the poll, man. Take the poll, man. Shout out to Midlife Reset, the Chewbacca defense. Make sure y'all support the channel, man, via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Man, continue to support the channel, man. It's gonna be a big case, man. Salute to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building, man. Shout out to Brian. Brian says glider support for the best child of the sun. Keep it up. The most important message America hear about race is exactly what you've always said. There's no solution. Yeah, man. Ain't no solutions, man. No solutions, man. Continue to support the channel. Miguel Wanos in the building, man. He say, I never seen the clip of OJ. They actually fit. Let me look at the poll, man. Let me look at the poll. Let me see.
Only 38 votes. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, 38 votes. Yeah, okay. It's a
200
little
people
early,
watching.
but
250 people watching. I want to know if those gloves fit.
I wonder how many people are asleep at this time of night that are watching.
Yeah. Wake up, people. We got an important decision to make here.
Yeah,
Was OJ
man.
guilty? We could break this wide open.
Yeah, man. This is
This is groundbreaking. Our Snoops dug to the bottom of this story and noticed the gloves actually fit.
Yo, OJ is literally dead. That's the craziest part about it. Like, he lived a whole nother life after this. Like he actually lived like 2 lives after this. If you really want to think about it. He lived 2 lives after this.
He went to jail after this.
No, he lived a life. He went to prison for a long period, came home and lived another life. Wow, Sunman winning.
People still wanted to hang out with him.
Yeah, he was a weekly guest on Cameron's show, the sports show. The juice. So what do y'all think, man? Everybody get in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think.
All right.
But even if
Thank you,
they
Council.
did fit and he did do it, that girl did bring up a point. Oh, I can't get these to fit.
All right.
This is not the first time OJ couldn't get it to fit. Come on, Juice. Just shove it in there.
Can we Ask him to.
Look at Kim Kardashian. No, that's Robert Shapiro. Okay, where's Kardashian at?
Left glove.
Where's Robert Kardashian at?
I don't see him.
All right.
That's Shapiro.
With Shapiro, yeah.
Wait.
We ask him to straighten his fingers and extend them into the glove.
Can we ask him this? Yeah. Wow. Straighten his fingers.
I object to this statement by counsel.
I object.
All right. He appears to have pulled the gloves on, counsel.
How am I supposed to stab with this glove?
Will you show that to the jury, Mr.
Yeah, like this has nothing to do with it, yo.
Thank you.
You could
Only a real clown would go out stabbing with these gloves on.
Like
I'm O.J. Simpson. You don't think I could buy stabbing gloves that fit if I wanted to? This is bullshit.
This is the flimsiest piece of evidence ever. But this shows our TV. This was the first major TV trial. And you got court of public opinion, and you have introduced people into it. And people are morons.
Yeah, there were people just glued to watching it all day, every day, you know.
Yo, he could have literally wrapped a piece of cloth around the knife and fucking hacked both of them to death. You know what I mean? Like, he could have, like, fucking put his hand in a paper bag and hacked both of them to death. The size of the glove being off by being not like I wear a size 7 glove. These are size 6 3/4.
6 3/4. What a miscarriage of justice is this?
Other hand.
I'm being railroaded. It looks like he's wearing the left hand on the right hand and the right hand on the left hand too. They're just like spazzy looking.
All right.
They should have had him hold a knife. Can you hold a knife with these gloves?
Right.
Is that like germane to the? Just maybe make a waving motion. See if we can make this glove fit properly.
They didn't have enough balls to do that, man. They didn't have enough balls to do that. They come in there with a wooden knife and shit. Just be like, yo, this thrust. See if you can do it. Oh my God. Yeah, they weren't equipped for this type of battle, man. You gotta go all in, man. Go hard or go home, man.
I object to this, Your Honor.
Yes,
object.
I agree.
Counsel, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
He's still able to grip the marker and everything.
Yeah.
He can still grip a knife.
Yeah.
Are they gonna give him the knife?
OJ look like he want to stab. Yo, watch the OJ's face when he hands the gloves back. He look like he want to stab Chris Darden. Look, look at his face.
Here's your gloves, bitch.
Like he's having impulses.
For an issue of cross contamination.
You can see it right in his eyes, bro.
All right.
They know they got it. They know they won. They know they won because they know
the writers worked all night and came up
with. They got something to work with now. That was your move. Okay, now we can counter move. Okay, we know where you're at. So we just got to counter that.
Can we approach one moment before we?
Look at Johnny. Look at Johnny. Look at his mind working.
I think we got this.
Johnny, like, yeah, we got these guys. These guys are amateurs, man. They literally made him put on the gloves.
Yeah.
He's hearing cash register noises right now. That's what's going on in his head.
I want you to remember these words.
If it doesn't fit.
Like the defining moment in this trial.
Wow.
The day Mr. Darden asked Mr. Simpson to try on those gloves, and the gloves didn't fit. Remember these words. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. I was thinking.
He brought in the preacher.
It's not true.
The rapper. It don't, yeah, but the people are stupid. They're
But it rhymes. What do you mean it's not true? It rhymes.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
important.
And they threw down the gauntlet.
You know how the lawyers, they're never supposed to ask a question they don't know the answer for. Similarly,
Right.
why would they risk everything on a stupid pair of gloves? You know?
Yeah. And that's why he was smiling as soon as it was happening. He's like, I got him. He came up with the bars in his head right there. And he's like, all right, if it's too loose, you can't convict the juice. If it's too loose, you can't convict the juice. Nah, that's too long. If it does not fit, then you can't. Okay, yeah, that's.
Last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. It occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself. Was going to put on a knit cap and some dark clothes, and he was going to get in his white Bronco and this recognizable person and go over and kill his wife. That's what they want you to believe. That's how silly their argument is. And I said to myself, maybe I can demonstrate this graphically. Let me show you something. This is a knit cap. I'm going to put this knit cap on. And you've been seeing me for a year. If I put this knit cap on, who am I? I'm still Johnny Cochran with a knit cap. And if you look at O.J. Simpson over there, and he has a rather large head, O.J. Simpson in a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still O.J. Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Good time, Your Honor.
All right, Mrs. Robertson.
If the hat don't fit, you'll believe this shit.
All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury?
Right there. That's Kardashian right there. What's her face? Robert
That's
Kardashian.
F. Lee Bailey there. F. Lee Bailey standing over there too.
Like, he got the dream. How much money did he have? I know he's O.J. Simpson, but goddamn. Who's this one right here?
That's F. Lee Bailey, I believe.
No, this is F. Lee Bailey right here. This is.
Oh, is it Melvin Belli? Wasn't he on his team too?
I think so. There's somebody, and this is Cochran, Kardashian, and Shapiro.
Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury?
Damn. Jesus Christ.
Mrs. Robertson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of penal Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon the Cole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information.
They looking around like we did it. They didn't even really. These are seasoned attorneys. They know he did that shit. Look at Robert Kardashian when it happened. He like, yo, we did that shit. What the fuck?
But you have to pay a very
Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information.
It's a very high price to murder your wife.
Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus.
That really happened?
You never been married, man. It crosses your mind sometimes, but.
Orenthal James Simpson.
I'm talking about Robert
We, the jury,
Kardashian.
in the above.
Huh?
I'm talking about Robert Kardashian's facial expression. He looks like, did we just get him off? Like he couldn't even believe it himself.
Yeah, no way.
Information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled
gold
action,
is-
further find the special circumstance.
The gold, they still got their gold though. So you know, they some
OJ should put on that glove for a high five.
That the defendant, Orthel James
Gold.
Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree and one or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Signed this second day of October 1995, Juror 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
All right, counsel, Mr. Simpson, would you be seated, please? Let's have it quiet in the courtroom, please. All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you please poll the jurors?
All the jury.
Is that,
Juror number one,
Woman's Family
as to
crying?
count
Who's
one,
the crying?
is this your verdict? Juror number two, as to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number three, as to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number four, as to count one, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number five, as to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number six, as to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number seven, as to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number eight, as to count one, is this your verdict?
Who's the spoil sport crying back there? We're trying to celebrate here, people.
Juror number nine, as to count one, is this your verdict?
Look at him.
Juror number 10,
Yo,
as
he can't believe it. Yo, he's like, yo, what the fuck just happened? You got
Marsha Clark, see what she has to say about that.
you got ran over by a fucking freight train, dude.
to count one, is this your verdict? Juror number 11, as to count one, is this your verdict?
They were banging at the
Juror
time.
number 12, as to count one, is this
Yeah.
your verdict?
They were too busy fucking.
Yep.
Okay, count two. Juror number 1, is to count two, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2, is to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 3, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 4, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 5, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 6, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 7, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 8, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror number 9, as to count two, is this your verdict? Juror
All
number
those
10,
people are
as to
dead.
count
That's
two, is this
crazy,
your
ain't
verdict?
it?
Juror number
All
11,
those people over there on the dream team side are dead.
The curse of
as to
OJ,
count
they're
two,
all
is
dead
this your
now.
verdict? Juror number 12,
Yeah,
as
it's
to
only
count
been
two,
30
is this
years.
your verdict?
All right, the clerk is directed to record the verdicts as read.
Is Marsha Clark
Parties
dead?
agree to waive reading of the verdicts as recorded. Mr. Cochran,
There's the sore
do you
losers.
waive reading of the verdicts as recorded? Ms. Clark, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to at this time take this opportunity to
Something you don't see
publicly
much on
thank
this
you for
channel
the
is
service that you've
cheers for a
given
loved
to
one.
us. The burdens that we've placed upon you were enormous, and words can't begin to express the debt that we owe to you for the time and patience and exertion that you've given to us during the course of this case. I will have an opportunity to meet with you privately later, and I'll give you my private comments when we have a chance to meet. I want to caution you at this time that there is, as you know, intense media interest in this case. The news media will probably seek you out at your home or at your place of business. And I would implore that the news media act responsibly to avoid harassing you or identifying you without your consent or otherwise causing you concern. Whether you wish to cooperate with the news media is, of course, entirely up to you. However, I must warn you to expect the worst as far as that is concerned.
Wow.
The DEI dream team failed, man.
Telling you, man.
White woman, some
telling you.
lawyer leading the case. Just slipped through their fingers. And that was the last time we saw Judge Ito.
Telling you, man. Any final thoughts, man?
Hey, can I plug something?
Thanks, Doc.
Go ahead, man.
I just dropped a video tonight. It's just a short one, a little 3-minute video about the all-girl, all-female astronauts that just went up into space. I just dropped a little video on that. So check out my channel, Jimmy
Put it
Fields
in
Productions.
the put it in the comment section so they can click on it.
Oh, okay. In the chat?
Yep.
I
We
didn't-
love space.
I was gonna cover that tonight, but we will get into it tomorrow because you know how I feel about that. You believe that shit really happened. So go watch his video, and then we'll cover that shit tomorrow.
I'm gonna drop it in there right now. This is the link for it.
Yeah, man.
It's not about whether or not they did it. It's celebrating that this was the first all-female crew to go in space, man. This has never happened before.
Impossible.
It's I didn't say they flew it. I didn't say they built it. I didn't say they designed it, fueled it up, kept it clean, or drove it. But they were on it when it went up there. All women. And it landed.
All had their makeup and nails done, right?
It didn't land upside down. They all had their hair blown out. It's pretty funny, man. Check it out. And then all praise to Yakub. Thanks, man.
You put it in there?
Yeah, it's in there. I think I put it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the chat.
All right, everybody, man. Watch Jimmy Fields video on that, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Subscribe.
Salute.